Welcome back to the Poverty Frank. Why are you smiling?
No, I'm just reading. I was reading the got it. You know what I'm saying?
What's it called? Welcome back to the Poverty Franchise Podcast. I'm Khalil,
I'm Ethan.
No, I'm Frank.
and we got a lot to talk about today, including Western Conference predictions because basketball starts soon, like early October is preseason, and then late October is like regular season.
Yeah.
Like I think it's the 19th of October, so we're less than a month away from regular season basketball. Um, we could talk about some football because it's been pretty interesting to start the season, and then some other things. But we do want to start off first with something we wanted to initiate at the start of football season, the Poverty Franchise Player of the Week. Pretty much an explanation of the Poverty Franchise Player of the Week is a player who's either on a bad team and is exceeding expectations, or on a good team and is not meeting expectations. I guess that's a good way to put it. Um, doesn't have to be a player necessarily. It could be a staff member. It could be a fan. There's a lot of people who could do some things that they shouldn't do.
Could be you.
Yeah, it could be you. It could be me. Like it could be anyone. I'll go first. Um, my poverty franchise player of week 1 and week 2 is Richie James. He's a wide receiver for the New York Giants. He's just been really solid for us. He's been the only like noteworthy wide receiver for us. So I'm gonna give him some credit because he deserves it. Um, yeah, he's actually really, really solid. Ethan, I know you said you had like
My
three.
I have like three. Yeah. So two of them are hand in hand. It's Carson Wentz and Curtis Samuel.
Hmm.
So Curtis Samuel's a receiver on the football team for Commanders. Sorry. Same for Carson
Mm-hmm.
Wentz. He's a quarterback for the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get bro's stats. Hold on. So in two games, he's had 650 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
Isn't
When
he
you hear
leading the
Carson
league in
Wentz,
passing yards, or is it he's second and two was first?
he's up there for both of
He's
them.
he's top five. I know he's top five for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Let me check it though.
I could
But
find
okay,
it.
he's tied for first for touchdowns, second in passing yards, and tied for 27th in interceptions, which is great. And the only downside is they all resulted in losses,
Oh yeah, I
so
was gonna say
that's
they're 0-2
unfortunate.
right now, aren't they? Or oh, they're one and
Yes,
one.
Hmm.
They played
they're
someone
one.
last week
They're
who
one and
they
one.
beat. Yeah, I don't remember who they played last week
They
though.
won, but they
They played.
lost. Oh no, they
They
won. Yeah, they beat Jacksonville.
yeah.
My fault. Yeah,
I don't know why
but
I remember them losing
yeah.
that game.
Mhm.
Um,
But like my second person is Curtis Samuel. He's had 133 receiving yards. It's not much, 15 receptions, 2 receiving touchdowns, but he's pretty much been closing their drives
through
for
2 games,
like,
that's really good.
yeah. And he pretty much off I think Terry McLaurin, you had a big gain, and
Hmm.
then it was Jahan Dotson. It was like a big gain and then closed out by Curtis Samuel. Like he lines up at receiver, running back, like that Debo Samuel type role.
Hmm.
And my third person is Among Us St. Brown, or
Hmm.
Amon Ross St. Brown. He's had 180 receiving yards, 17 receptions, 3 receiving touchdowns, on pace for 26 on the season, and he's just been going crazy
26
this year.
receiving touchdowns on the season.
He's on pace for it.
Oh wow. Him and his brother scored touchdowns like seconds apart from each other, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his brother's name. Equinamius or something.
Equinemius, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he has been killing it. The Lions offense in general has been killing it. They've been putting up like 35 a game. So
Hmm.
shout out them. Frank,
Yeah.
who's your poverty franchise player of the week?
I had two, well, sort of, right? I have
Hmm.
Joe Burrow, number one. See, I couldn't, to whatever restrictions I had, I couldn't watch his game two. But game
Mm,
one, he put up 4 interceptions,
did not look good.
62% completion rate. Did not look good at all, and the whole team was looking. Oh my
Pretty
god!
bad. I mean,
Like
Jamar Chase looked
that
decent.
game. Jamar Chase was decent, but that game was insane. And that was the best game that weekend for sure, in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion. It was
one of at
just
least.
because it
I
was
can't think
competitive.
of. Maybe my memory is just bad, but like that's probably the best one from week 1.
Yeah, well, they're 0-2 now, so
Yeah,
from it's not good for someone that just went to the Super Bowl, right?
not at all. Not a good look.
Nope. Um, number two at poverty franchise coach
Of the year,
um
of the year,
of
not
the
even of the
of the
week, of the
year
year.
of the year, Ime Udoka.
Yeah,
Pot lacking, they needed him. I
Hall of
don't know what
Fame
he
bag fumbler.
Hall of Fame bag fumbler.
Oh my
Just in
God.
the championship, and now you can't even coach for a whole year. And
Yep.
now Celtics have to have some assistant coach. It'll probably work out fine, but
I don't know
uh,
about that. I'm like,
you don't know about that?
I think this combined with Robert Williams missing 8 to 12 weeks, combined with Danilo
Gallinari.
Gallinari not being there the whole season, it like all of this happened in like the last month. Just
Yeah,
like, geez, they can't catch a break. And I was
yeah,
looking
you're
at
right.
my Eastern Conference rankings. I think this drops them down maybe 2 spots to the 4 seed because I had them at the two.
Mhm.
I think they definitely get jumped by the Sixers now, and then I think there's a conversation between them and Miami because it's just too much going on. It has to be a distraction. And Jalen Brown's upset with the team. Well, kind of upset. He's kind of hinting at it because they always have him in trade rumors. It's just so much going on in Boston right now. Hard to say.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of things.
A lot of things going on, but yeah, Ime Udoka, coach. And then what happened with Doc Rivers?
Doc, wait,
Didn't his
what?
account get
Nah.
Wait, what
hacked?
happened with
Oh,
Doc?
his account got hacked, and he's like, I don't even know what was said, but
I don't think he said
I
anything. It
don't
was
know.
his likes. It was his
It was
likes
his
on Twitter.
likes. Okay, I don't know.
Doc
He's
Rivers had
been
a
in the league
moment.
for a long time. I
Give
don't
him a
really
break. Doc
give him
Rivers
a
doesn't get.
break. He's
But
too old
Ime,
too,
come on
man.
now.
He looking
It's like your
tired
first
on the
year
bench.
last year.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Like, ugh.
Mm.
I'd be sick if I was a Celtics fan. Like the
Yeah,
highs and
no,
the
I would be too.
lows. The highs and the lows.
It's got to be. You heard what LeBron said. LeBron said Celtics fans are racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just want to know what happened because I feel like we still don't know exactly what happened to where he would get suspended for a year.
So what I read about was, well, first of all, he had a relationship with a staff member, but
Yeah, that's established.
the point was is that the staff member was working under him, like for him, right?
Hmm
If it was, I think
They,
it depends, right?
yeah, because if they were at equal levels, it's
Yeah,
different than
I
because
think
it's
it'd be different.
if he's working over you, you're kind of pressured to like even if he doesn't pressure you necessarily by his words, just the fact that he's in a higher position of you and has control over in a
More
way has control
things.
over your employment in a way, you're kind of pressured.
Right.
Yeah, so that's probably I also Matt Barnes, I saw it on Twitter earlier today. Matt Barnes he apparently talked about it yesterday and said that he thinks he was trying to defend Udoka. Um, I didn't see it, and then today he went back on it. He deleted his post and he said that it's a lot deeper than we know.
I think so.
Mhm.
So maybe there's things we still don't know. Probably is information we still don't know, and that the NBA isn't telling us yet, or the Celtics organization isn't telling us yet. Because 1 year is a lot. Like, oh, that's a pretty harsh
Yeah,
suspension.
we're not gonna know anytime soon. I mean,
Yeah,
you might find out what happened in like years, like lots of
yeah.
years. This
Unless something crazy leaks out, like I don't think they're very tight-lipped about this.
right, because Udoka isn't gonna say anything,
Yeah,
and no
he
one knows
already
who the
released
staff
a
member
statement.
is. Right, he was the
Yeah,
statement.
and he said he wasn't gonna speak on it anymore.
Right, so
Oh, there
that's
was like a Twitter
nobody.
thread on like how it could. There's only 3 female staff members on the Celtics
The
staff,
Celtics,
and then they were like narrowing it down. Like,
right?
Mm,
but bro,
There's
my
not.
tan line is terrible. Like,
Oh,
my God, I can't stop looking at that.
mine's
yeah.
worse.
I have one
What?
too.
You can't
Crazy.
see it.
It's very
Show it.
slight though. It's like just like my arm, like where you see a t-shirt sleeve. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
under that. I have a
Oh,
bit
so
of
it's
a tan.
like right here ish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Speaking of, you know, just football. While we were on the topic of talking about like poverty franchise players, tomorrow we actually get together and watch football for once.
All
Something that
right.
never happens. So that's kind
Yeah.
of dope. Uh, that's really looking forward to that because we haven't. I don't think we've ever watched football together.
No,
No,
Like NFL football. I don't think we've even watched high school
we've
football
we've
together.
never even watched any
Mm-mm.
form of football, just a baseball game.
Right.
Right.
So this is kind of dope. Looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some good games. Especially the main one we're going for is Cardinals Rams.
Cardinals, Rams. We're gonna show up for the morning window just a little bit later. Like towards the
Packers
second half.
Bucks is gonna be on at this. Like, there's some good evening window games. Like those two specifically. Okay, those are the only two good ones. No one's trying to watch Jags Chargers or Falcons Seahawks, but like those two games are
Mm.
like game of the year contenders if all things go right.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
for the Rams Cardinals one, I think it could really show what the Rams are,
hmm
because clearly their defense has holes, and it's not the same team that it was last year.
yeah, there's a lot of
Definitely
roster
not.
turnover, and then I think this
Yeah.
also can be. I don't know if it's big for the Cardinals because they did start off what 7-0 last year, 8-0, 9-0. It was one of those. They started off really hot last year and then they fell off. But if they
Yeah.
did beat the Rams, it would give them a bit more respect, in my opinion. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
on to say
No,
they're like
because
the top dogs, but like you're beating the Super Bowl
yeah,
winning team. So
beating the Super Bowl winning team, of course, shoots you up because
right.
that's what happened to the Bills. They destroyed the Rams. They
Oh
proved
Speaking
yeah.
of the
it was like
Bills,
a
that
statement
Bills
game.
Dolphins game is also going to be really, really good. It's in the
hmm
morning window. I wish it was the Sunday night game or something because if I'd
Yeah.
much rather watch that on Sunday night than Niners
The
Broncos.
morning window.
Even though Niners
Yeah.
Broncos isn't a bad matchup, it's still just like I get it though. You have to have your good morning game, your good evening games, and your good nighttime game. So it is what it is. A lot of good teams, so you can't really fit them all on the TV schedule. But we'll go back to the NFL at the end to make our week 3 predictions. And I honestly want to not record them, but like I'm gonna track them. I'm gonna write them down once I'm done and I post a video so
Mhm.
that tomorrow when it happens, we can see who got the most right or how we did in
All right.
consensus if we have the same. But I do want to keep track of that because that's you know just always fun to see how your predictions hold up.
Yeah.
But on to the main, you know, you wouldn't call it the bread, the meat inside the sandwich of the podcast, Um, Western
Bro,
Conference
Frank's
predictions.
faces.
Mhm. What's up?
You did
You're
not
like,
look like you were
Y'all like my
enthralled by
Simpson
my
shirt?
W
Yeah.
shirt. Anyways, Western Conference predictions. Since last week you did Eastern Conference predictions, and the NBA season is getting, relatively close. I don't even know if we're gonna have another episode the way our schedule is before basketball season starts. Um, so yeah, just we're gonna do it the same way we had it last time. 15-1. Everyone has 15 teams, right? And there's no duplicates, right?
That's right.
Okay, no
Double
why do
duplicates.
I have the
double
Raptors?
double
How did
sons.
they get
I'm just
here?
kidding.
How did the New York Knicks get on my Western Conference list? What?
Supersonics?
I thought we were
The
in the
Buffalo
2000s.
Braves?
The Buffalo Braves.
How did they get here?
Las Vegas Aces?
Okay, so
Speaking of the
15,
Aces, didn't they win the
yeah,
WNBA
WNBA
They
championship?
did.
championship.
Congratulations.
Asia
W.
Wilson's, she won Defensive Player of the Year this year. She won MVP this year, I think,
Oh my
and she
God.
won Finals MVP, and she won a ring. So
Damn.
she's going crazy right now. Yeah, shout out them. Vegas is kind of, I don't want to say going crazy, but they're building a nice little sports town because their hockey team won it really quickly
Yeah.
when they were added to
They won it
the.
on their first year.
I think
No,
so, first or
no,
second.
no.
Yeah, no, they did.
It was third.
They were an expansion team.
They were an
Oh, was it
expansion
third?
team. Yeah, they won it really early on though
It
for
was third.
expansion team standards.
The first year they made it to the final, but they lost.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Third year
That's what I
they
was thinking of.
won it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
they like only team that's not really, and it's not even like the Raiders are bad. It's just like they haven't won anything, but it's also their first year, So it's kind of like
Yeah.
give them
Raiders are bad right now.
Raiders 0-2. Yeah, that choke was insane. We got to talk about that when we get to
Yeah.
Choke was
football.
insane.
Oh my God.
Honestly, whole Raiders team could be, poverty franchise player of the week. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways,
Let me make another annotation. Nate Hobbs for Poverty Franchise Player of the Week. I'm just kidding.
everyone on you guys is secondary on that. What's it called? 2-point conversion or touchdown where Kyler Murray was just running around. I don't know what happened. How that was allowed to
Bro.
happen. That's just like you can't let that happen. That's a high school level play. Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
Let's get on to basketball because if we keep getting distracted, we're never going to get to basketball. 15-1, like I said. I don't know who wants to lead off with their 15, but I think our 15 and 14 should be the same two teams. I would hope.
I'll go first.
All right.
15, Jazz. They're
Okay.
Bobo.
Yeah, I have the Jazz.
They're
I have,
Bobo.
I have the
Mm.
Jazz.
Mm.
Do you have the Spurs?
I got the Rockets.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what? Y'all be, Jordan Clarkson be putting up 50. So I ain't trying to.
I don't think they're
I ain't
gonna.
trying to put
I
the
don't-
Jazz at
They're
15.
gonna trade him. I feel like that's the thing. They're gonna
They
trade
should.
Clarkson.
They should. You're right. They should trade.
They're
All
gonna
right.
trade Clarkson and Conley probably,
Okay.
but
No,
the
yeah.
Jazz.
I'll have Jazz at 15. I'll have
Okay.
Jazz at
The
15.
Jazz's roster just has no continuity. There's like no roster, even though they have players I like Jared Vanderbilt's really good. Ochai Agbaji, he doesn't have the highest ceiling, but he's still really solid. Colin Sexton has a chance to prove himself, I guess. Jared Butler, some young guys, but there's like no. It's gonna be the first time the Jazz have had this kind of roster in a long time. Because even when they were bad and they drafted Donovan Mitchell, it wasn't like we're doing this the Thunder way where we're rebuilding and we just threw away all of our assets to get picks and things like that. This is like a really bottom tier roster. So it's gonna be weird. It's just gonna be interesting seeing how it happens. Also, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Quinn Snyder is the coach of the Jazz anymore. They have a new coach or something like that.
I think you're right. I heard something about
I'll search it up just to be sure. I think he stepped down, but I don't think Will Hardy is their head coach. He's
Yeah.
new.
But I think it's good. It's definitely good that they finally did it because I think it's long overdue, the reset, right?
Right. It wasn't working. I mean, like,
Right. It's just not enough. So compared to the other teams you have in this conference, it's not even close.
at all.
And you could have had RJ Barrett.
Right. That's
Jazz
at least something.
come
Like,
on, man. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if it pays off in the end in a few
didn't the
years.
package include Mitchell Robinson too? I think
I'm
it was
not sure.
RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson was the initial package.
RJ and another decent player. I don't.
Right. Better
So
than what they got from Cleveland. So
definitely. So I don't know. It's whatever. We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
With the
But I
picks.
definitely will not be tuning into a single Utah Jazz game.
I will not be either.
Unless it's like someone on their team has 50 and I'm like, okay, let me watch this because he's on fire. And even then I might not watch it. Because if someone on their team has 50, they're still probably down by 62.
I'll watch any close game though.
Yeah, if it's close, I'll watch it. Because
I'll turn it on in the fourth quarter.
who knows? Knowing how terrible the Lakers are, they might find themselves losing to the Jazz. Like they might be down 10 in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. And I'm like, let me turn this on. LeBron go crazy.
AD championship or MVP season.
AD got touched by Jared Vanderbilt and just died on the court.
Died on the court.
LeBron has to put up 72, 20, and 16 to be down 10.
Right. They're gonna bring out that the soccer stuff they use, where they just someone's dying on a soccer field, they just like spray them down and they just get up,
Bro got hit by the med mist on deodorant on Minecraft on Fortnite.
He said on Minecraft on Fortnite.
No, I said on deodorant on Minecraft on Fortnite. Oh my god.
Hey yo, they got deodorant in Minecraft.
I don't think it.
Okay, who you got at 14, guys? Because I think let's just rush to these two because I feel like it's the
Spurs.
Spurs. Okay.
Yeah. Like they're also just not good. They just have a better coach. I think that's the only difference.
That's the only thing that's making it better.
They have a better coach. There's a bit more continuity to the roster because they really didn't lose as much as the Jazz did. They lost DeJounte Murray, and that's it. That's the only person they've traded. And then Danilo Gallinari was in the DeJounte Murray trade. So yeah, they didn't lose Gallinari either. They cut him. Yeah, and that's about it. Like the roster is pretty much the same, just no Murray.
All right, so you got
more
Sheldon.
picks.
Yeah, more picks, and then they drafted Jeremy Sohan, who isn't like a scorer. He is more of a defensive rookie, who's more raw than most rookies. So I don't really expect him to be the most exceptional floor raiser ever. I just think they're going to be well coached.
Sohan's more of a defensive player as well.
Way more defensive.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not much of a scorer. Like he's only going to be able to do so much and provide so much. He's not going to elevate them.
He's a willing shooter. Like he'll try to shoot the ball, even though he's not very good at it. He still takes them, which is appreciated. He's like a pretty standard finisher. He doesn't really have much of a mid-range game. I mean, I'm sure he can make them, but he can't
Yeah.
get to the mid-range. He doesn't have much of a he can handle the basketball pretty well for a 4/5 kind of guy, but it's not like he has a assortment of moves to get to his spot. It's more like a Draymond Green type of handle the ball where he can dribble the ball and like pass. So
Right.
I think the Spurs is a good landing spot for him though, because it's a defensive rookie going to play under Coach Popovich. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
At least because he also is very handsy and he'll get into foul trouble. And if the only thing you can do is play defense, being handsy is a bit of an issue because then you can't really do anything at all. So hopefully they can work on that aspect of his game where he's a little less handsy. But yeah, the Spurs aren't very good. I'll just say that.
They aren't, but they got their team is really young. Like, when you look at really a lot of the players are young. I mean, well coached team. Maybe they exceed expectations. Who knows?
It's Coach Popovich, so I'm not going to be like it's impossible. I think it's way more likely for them to do good than it is the Jazz. I think there's like under 1% chance that the Jazz do anything this year. The Spurs, I could see at best maybe the 10 seed.
Yeah, maybe they make the play.
Maybe, but that would be.
That's a goal. I'm sure for them.
It would be hard. They would have to exceed expectations, and a couple teams would have to like not meet expectations that have very low expectations.
But that's possible. There's a few teams on this list that can
literally an injury can change anything. So if Jalen Green were to somehow get injured, the Rockets probably aren't half as good as they actually are. You know.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who you guys have at 13?
Rockets.
Hold on.
This guy.
Do I have Rockets? Okay, I do have the Rockets at 13.
This guy put the Lakers at
Shout out the Rockets. This Tari Eason jersey came in today.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Damn, you never told him? I told him
I
told him that morning.
This is just for the podcast, Frank. Jeez.
Hey, you know what's funny though?
Huh?
Your girlfriend posted me on her story.
Oh yeah, you were in the top right corner or the top left corner.
I took that picture.
Yeah, no, that was a fire picture though.
Rockets, they have more continuity to the roster. It's a little more well built. They're still kind of figuring out some things though, like who's their backcourt, who's gonna get minutes in certain spots. Nothing's really.
You said it best though. Without Jalen Green, they're pretty much a bottom two team.
Yeah, it's literally just him. So if something happens to him, luckily nothing has thus far. But if something were to happen to him, the team falls apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have talented rookies. The Sengun is pretty solid. Some people think he's gonna have a big breakout year. Of course, they drafted Tari Eason, who I'm a big fan of. They drafted Jabari Smith, who was number 1 on my big board. They still have Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. You know, I feel like I'm forgetting people.
I really like Kevin Porter Jr. I really hope he does.
I think he's good. I just think he's more of like a 6 man than a starting point guard.
He's a good shooter, like his father.
He's more of like a scorer than he is.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
But I definitely think he's really talented.
He's talented.
They also drafted Ty Washington, who I'm not the hugest fan of, but I think he has some.
I'm not a big fan of.
But who knows?
They got Jayshawn Tate.
Jayshawn Tate is really solid, even though I don't think he wants to.
They have a bunch of young talent.
Oh, it wasn't him who didn't want to be there anymore. It was Kenyon Martin Jr., who was like, I don't really want to be in Houston anymore.
Why does he want to be there?
He's not getting enough shots or something stupid. Like, you're Kenyon Martin Jr., chill.
I gotta trade Eric Gordon away.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say the Lakers would probably be interested, but they're interested in everybody, and they have no cap space.
Bro.
But yeah, Houston's not very good. I like for the West. At least at the bottom, it's just not very. It's not as interesting as the Pistons and the Magic because they made huge moves, and there's a lot more to look forward to. The Pistons or the Rockets kind of just stayed the same, but they added some players who I have to see some more of, rather than like Boncaro, who's a little more exciting than Jabari, or the Pistons adding Jaden Ivey to complement what they already had. So it's kind of just like we're stuck.
Right, they got the picks. They're more exciting.
Right.
Sure.
What are we at now? 12?
We're at 12.
Yeah, it only gets good once we get to like the play-in. Like Who you got at 12?
Kings.
I got Thunder.
I had Sacktown.
Really?
I did.
Okay, so
I thought it was interchangeable.
yeah, I think it's interchangeable.
Even though Kings have two stars, I
Oh,
would
two
say.
like borderline all
Two
stars.
borderline all stars, but they're still the Kings. I don't like the Kings.
Yeah, I just don't. The thing for me isn't that I don't think their roster is good. I think their roster is decent. It's like an average, like honestly, they're like an 8 seed roster. I just don't trust them to get the 8 seed, you know? Like it's a
Hmm.
very bottom of the Western Conference type of roster.
It's
If
like
the West
they
was
got
worse.
this. It's like they got the scraps of the good players.
Right. De'Aaron Fox is a borderline all-star who has flaws in his game,
Yeah.
as far as his ability to shoot the ball. And
Right.
then De- DeMontis Sabonis,
Sabonis.
he's just not the best defender. He's a pretty versatile scorer and a really solid rebounder, just not a great defender. Keegan Murray's gonna fit well, I think, alongside of him. And they still have
Mhm.
Harrison Barnes, who's one of the higher quality role players in the league right now. So
For sure.
Keegan
Davion
and Harrison
Mitchell,
pretty much do the same thing.
right?
They also picked up Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter,
I
Malik
think
Monk.
that's a good pickup. Malik
Malik
Monk.
Monk is huge.
So they have a little team there.
Rashawn Holmes is still there. Like it's a pretty solid roster, so I'm a bit
Mhm.
higher on them than you guys are. For me, I have the Thunder at 12. Just because we didn't address our biggest need, which was a center. Well, I mean, we did
Yeah.
address our biggest need. He's just not going to play this year because he's injured. Um, and then Shea is also dealing with an injury. And I was looking at our schedule when it first dropped. The beginning of the season for us is so hard. Like we play Denver, the Lakers, even though the Lakers aren't very good, but we play some pretty like good players, and we're not going to have Shea, I don't think. And if we do have Shea, he's not going to be at 100%.
Mhm.
What happened to Shea?
MCM sprain or something like or
MCL.
MCL grade 2 sprain or something like that.
Doug. Yeah, he's out for like 12 weeks.
Yeah,
12 weeks
so
starting the season?
I don't think it's 12. I didn't say it was 12, or maybe it wasn't. I'm gonna just search Shea, but I know he got injured. I don't know if it's an MCM or MCL.
Hmm.
Shea injury, MCL sprain. Yep,
They say how long?
8 weeks. Never mind, my fault.
8 weeks,
8 weeks.
which is
Okay.
still pretty bad. Like,
Mm,
because 8 weeks from now is what? That's November, like
Yeah.
November 24th. That's like a good couple weeks of the actual regular season, 2 to 3 weeks of the regular season. Um, so yeah,
mm.
that's not very. That's
I'm
not a good
higher
sign.
on the Thunder because I didn't know about the injury. When did it go?
Okay.
When did it come out?
Maybe like 3 days ago.
Oh
It
yeah,
was,
I
it
didn't
was
see it then.
recent.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I'll switch my picks though.
Yeah.
I
That's
think.
why
Now
I'm
that
this
you
low.
said that, I'm probably gonna switch it because I didn't know that he had that injury and that he was
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be out for that long.
pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, and then your rookie's out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kings are looking kind
Uh,
of good right now.
Kings looking rather appealing at the moment.
They are looking appealing. So I'll switch my picks, but Thunder at
Yeah.
oh,
Switching mine as well.
Thunder at 12,
12.
Thunder
So
12,
now
Kings 11.
Kings 11 for me.
I don't even have the Kings
We're
at
all
11.
oh
Ooh, he put the Lakers.
Yeah, I did. I
Oh, you
did
did?
put the Lakers at
What?
11.
oh for real?
I think the Lakers are so bad. I mean, they have
No,
LeBron and
yeah.
they
They
have
got
LeBron
LeBron.
and Anthony
And
Davis.
they did nothing to get better.
I mean, they added Pat Beverly, which was a good move on like in a basketball standpoint. He's a really good
They
role
have
player.
yeah.
But like, if Anthony Davis gets injured, this roster is terrible. They already have no depth at all. Like, even if Anthony Davis is healthy, what are they gonna do when LeBron is out? Who's playing for LeBron?
Lonnie
Like,
Walker.
Lonnie Walker's gonna come in and put up 5 points and 1 rebound. Like
Might put up like 30.
Austin Reeves, Thomas Bryant, Juan Toscano Anderson.
Don't
Like
sleep on Juan Toscano Anderson.
he's solid, but he's
He's
not
the
a good.
LeBron stopper. Have you
He's
seen that
not.
game?
No, but
He whooped him. Whooped
he's
LeBron.
not a high quality role player. Like it's literally their team is so fragile. I don't think LeBron's playing over 70 games. He's probably playing close to 60 to 65, somewhere in
I
that
think he's
range.
playing close to 55.
55 isn't
I'm
even an
sure
exaggeration. Like he
I'm
could
sure he's
easily
gonna
play
sit out
55.
just because.
He's gonna play
Right.
less than last
Anthony
year.
Davis might play 6 minutes. Like who knows? And then Russell Westbrook isn't that good anymore.
Donatello's
Like,
gonna come off the bench.
all right, like, and then they brought Dennis Schroeder, who was already a Laker, and he didn't really fit that well, but he fit better than Westbrook, so I guess it's a solid move. And then LeBron tweeted before the podcast started, he wanted Melo to come back to LA. So if they bring back Melo, I'll be like, that's another good role player, I'll say. Because Melo is a good role player at this point. He spaces the floor, and they need someone like Melo on the roster. However, team's not good, like in any capacity. Even if I did have them at the 10 seed in the play-in, I don't think they're making the playoffs. Because I don't think they can guard anyone either. Like, I mean, Pat Bev can. LeBron's not the most amazing defender, and then Anthony Davis is a really good defender, but he's
Juan Toscano can guard people.
Bro, Juan Toscano Anderson is not stopping Luka Doncic. He's not.
Might. Oh, you're right. All right, fine. But I think Juan Toscano's a good role player. I'm just saying he's a forward that can defend. He can shoot.
Maybe I'm sleeping on him. Maybe
Frank wants to give credit where it's due.
Maybe I'm sleeping on him.
I watched a lot of him last year because I watch Warriors games.
Yeah, so maybe I'm sleeping on him, but he's still not. You wouldn't say he's like a super high quality role player.
He's not a high. He's a decent role player though.
Right.
I think he'll contribute to the team. Yeah, but not like high quality. You're right.
And they got like Austin Reeves, who's like pretty standard. Like he's just Austin Reeves
role player. Yeah.
Thomas Bryant is cool, I guess, but like.
He gets injured all the time.
Yeah, so does Anthony Davis. So it's like, and then they have 67-year-old Dwight Howard. So it's like,
so they're gonna run LeBron at center the whole year again.
Yeah, I just hate how they had to trade Stanley Johnson because I did like Stanley Johnson.
He was good
on the Lakers. Yeah. But hey, they had to do it to get Pat Bev. So I'm like, I think I'd rather have Pat Bev than Stanley Johnson. But it would have been nice to keep both. But I don't know what they do here. Like, there's. They can get Melo back.
Tank for Bronny.
And shoot, that's what they might have to do. Like, there's no move for them to make that's not trading Westbrook, and it's like they're not moving in.
Wait, they can't even tank for Bronny. They don't even have a pick.
Yeah. And I don't think Bronny's this year. Bronny's next year.
I would just trade AD for LeBron.
Yeah, because he's still a senior in high school. Unless they change the rule to where he can go to
No, it's going to be effective 2024.
Yeah, so it wouldn't qualify him for him. It would qualify for Bryce, I think.
Yes.
LeBron gonna play with both his sons. That's crazy.
Nah, he's not. He's gonna retire this year.
He's gonna get sick of it. Mid-season, he's gonna be like, I can't do this. The day he breaks Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record, he's retiring.
That's what he should do.
That's what I would do. Go out on top.
Yeah.
Like, just call it quits.
No, then Kareem unretires.
Yeah. Sorry, the Lakers signed him. Like. But yeah, I have the Lakers at 11, missing the play-in, unfortunately. You guys have Sacramento?
Yeah, we have Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah.
At 10, I have the Lakers. It really all comes down to AD's availability. If he's available, they're probably going to squeeze in. If he isn't, then they're dropping.
It's a star. They have the star power. Like, they most definitely have the star power. They have when healthy, 2 top 10 players in the league. Or at least 2 top 15 players, depending on how you feel about Anthony Davis. But when Anthony Davis is healthy, he's still one of the best players in the league. I remember during the bubble, there were people talking about who's better between Anthony Davis and Giannis. So, like,
I remember that for sure. Yeah,
he's not that far off. Like, when he's healthy, people do respect him. It's just he hasn't been healthy for the last couple of years. So, injuries aren't something, especially when injuries start to linger and it's like becoming a trend. It's not something you can be like, okay, this year he'll be fine. It's not something that just goes away. Clearly, there's like some sort of issue with him I don't know. Maybe you can attest to this, Ethan, because you've dealt with injuries in sports before. But like injuries, if you're constantly injured, you don't just stop getting injured, right? Like, especially if it's legs. Like if it's a broken arm or something like that, that's kind of just a coincidence. That's kind of just like something that happens.
But you're always using your legs.
Right. That's something with like him as a person. Like maybe his bone structure or something. I don't know.
Right. People have ankle. Yeah.
Maybe
what if he just isn't doing yoga? He isn't stretching properly.
Maybe he ain't drinking enough milk when he was younger. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
he's never taking care of his body.
Right. Something. I don't know. But he needs to find a way to be healthy because it's not looking good for him. Especially just like his value in general. Like, people are really starting to forget how good Anthony Davis is because he's never on the court. And that's really unfortunate. he also needs to tone up his aggressiveness on offense because he loves playing second fiddle to LeBron when he needs to be the best player on the team.
He loves playing shooting guard.
Right. Like, and it's like he's so fragile that you can't even put him at center. Like, you can't play him at center. He's gonna die.
No, so you hear there's this interview. It was about 80. It was like when colleges were listing him for his height, he would stand at like 6'11", 7 foot, but he would say 6'10" because
Oh no, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
don't.
I saw that.
Yeah,
He didn't
you
want to
don't
play
put
center.
a center. Yeah, you don't want to put a 6'10" player at center. You'd want
Yeah.
them at the 4, but yeah.
He just, I don't know. That's a big issue, but in general, I think we can all agree that the Lakers aren't good. Like, they're not a
Yeah.
good team. So you guys said your 11 is the Kings.
Yeah.
So we're just
11
moving.
Kings, 10. My 10 was the Lakers.
Okay.
I had my Lakers at 10 as well. For,
Okay.
similar reasons. I was thinking about putting them at 9, but
I thought,
but
I had them
look
at. Go ahead.
just same sort of thing, just injuries and just team chemistry and I don't know. It's just a whole mess still.
Right.
You know, I'd rather take another team that has
A
more
little
young
more
players and more team chemistry.
consistency or something. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I had the Lakers initially when the episode started at 11 or at 10, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I can't buy into it. Maybe I'm wrong though, because they didn't make the play-in last year.
I'm just buying into it now because that what if scenario of 80.
Right.
being
If AD
healthy.
is healthy, there's no question they're like probably in the playoffs comfortably. Like, I think if AD is healthy, they might be a 7 seed.
Yeah, a
At the highest.
top tier playing team or something like that.
I still don't think they're going to be like amongst the big guys. I think the
Mhm.
West is really, really good. But yeah, just not a good roster. So as you guys can probably assume, I have the Kings at 10.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's not for any particular reason other than the teams in this tier just there's something that's making me not think they're a playing team. For the Thunder, Rockets, Spurs, and Jazz, it's kind of like they're not really looking at the plan. They're looking at their roster and how they want to be going forward. For the Lakers, it's just they don't have a great roster and it's really fragile. And if one player gets injured, that's it. The Kings, it comes down to coaching. That's been the issue pretty much, coaching, and drafting because they suck at drafting. But I think they did good with Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray seems at this moment to be a good selection.
We'll
And
see.
I think, once the regular season starts, he might be putting up 0-6-1 games. Like, who knows?
Let's get back to square one.
All right. But if he's as good as he's shown in G League or in the Summer League, seems like they made a good pick who might not have the most like elite ceiling of like a superstar, but definitely can complement a winning roster. Definitely can complement a winning roster. He spaces the floor on any given night. I think he can give you 25. Like, if you really get him on a good day, he can give you 25.
Yeah, for sure.
Numero 9.
That's why I have him at 10. 9, you've started us, Ethan.
Again? Okay. I got the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not too sold on them. Like, Dame's coming back. Anthony. Who else they get?
Jeremy Grant.
That one guy. Him. Yeah.
And Yusuf Nurkic if he can play more than 12 games.
Yeah. I'm not really sold on them. Like,
it's not an amazing roster. I will say they did bring in a couple. Like, they do have solid.
Yeah, they did.
They have Gary Payton Jr. or the second. I don't know. Then they have Josh Hart, who's a pretty solid role player. They have got. It's just still they're not an elite roster.
They got Shaedon Sharpe as well,
who didn't really get to play much in the Summer League.
He got injured in the Summer League.
Right. He's like a
forgot what it was, but he got injured.
Yeah, they said he didn't play a lot. How long has he hasn't played basketball in how long? It was some crazy.
Yeah, because he didn't go to college. He played in high school and he was playing he played basketball, but he didn't play basketball. Like,
right. So it's like a it's like a lottery pick. Not a lottery pick, but like
a mystery pick.
Mystery pick. So we'll see.
I'm trying to see but yeah, they brought in some good solid role players like Gary Payton, and they still have Josh Hart, and I'm trying to look at who else they have, but it's being really slow to load.
Keon Johnson, Justice, Winslow, Nasir Little, you got Chris Dunn.
No.
Yeah, they're all right. Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, Drew Eubanks is like next level. He's changing it for him. They brought in Devontae Kaycock.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oliver Sarr.
yeah, and Anthony Simons is really good. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how, you know, yeah, they have a solid enough roster to where I can see them making the play in.
Yeah,
Pretty
they have a
much.
solid team with 8, 9, 10 players who are all pretty decent, I'd say.
Right. And it's
Um,
like they don't have anyone who's like super injury what's it called? Always injured, other than Nurkic. Like he's
They
the one
yeah.
guy
do.
who's
His
always
Dame.
Dame's
James
decently healthy most of the
since just
time.
No,
recently.
he suffers from chasing the grind.
Ah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
That's an
right.
injury?
Yeah,
He's
it's an
injuring
injury.
his
Yeah.
legacy.
I must be injured.
Yeah.
I must be injured then. So I'll just go ahead and say I had Portland at 9 as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
I already talked about it, but Gary Payne, my favorite player last year. Yeah, he's good. He's gonna do great. He's gonna do so
Mhm.
good. You know, he got paid a lot of money to do what he does. He's gonna be a great,
Bro.
absolutely defensive menace.
Play defense, dunk on
Like
people.
dunk on people. He
And
shoots. He shoots now. He
mhm.
shoots.
And he
Like
fits well next to Dame because Dame's not a great
Yeah.
defender. So
yes,
He
I
fits next
really.
to Dame and Anthony because they both.
yeah,
It's pretty much CJ and Dame all over again.
So
yeah.
if Anthony comes off the bench, let's just say, and Peyton starts at the
I think that's how they should do it. They should take Anthony
they
off the
should do
bench.
that. But if that's how it goes, that's gonna be a really good backcourt, in my opinion.
Right. And then you have what's it called? If their starting lineup is Dame, Gary Payton, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, that's a good starting lineup.
So you survive with Anthony off the bench, who can put
With
up numbers.
yeah, like that's a good starting lineup with honestly, if he's the sixth man, that's like a six man of the year candidate.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
not as strong of a six man candidate as Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero, or even Malcolm Brogdon, but he's definitely like the fourth one there.
I think he'll still be up there.
Yeah, he'll still be
top
in
5.
considerations for the award. He'll 100% be top 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the bottom is consensus. I think we're about to get into the
Who's
times.
your 9?
My 9 is Portland.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
it's. I think once we get to the playoffs, that's when it gets a little all over the
Mhm.
place. So at 8, I'll start us off. I'll say I have Dallas at 8.
Ooh.
Okay.
Really good roster. They still have a really good roster. I just think everyone else got a lot better.
Mhm.
And they made some sort of every other team ahead of them made some sort of move, or except for one or two who were already, or three who were just already really good last year. Like the top 3 seeds from last year didn't make a huge move, but they were still the top 3 seeds last year.
Mhm.
But Denver's getting healthy. Pelicans are adding Zion. Minnesota made a big trade. Clippers are going to be healthy. You know, those are things you got to consider. And you know, the Clippers have a really good roster. The Pelicans have a really good roster. The Nuggets also have a really good roster. The Mavericks have Luka, who's an elite player and a good roster, but they don't have any co-star like that. Christian Wood is a cool addition, but he's not, you know, as good of a co-star as Jamal Murray or Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. You know,
Don't sleep on the JaVale McGee edition, bruh.
I mean,
It's a
they
good
added
addition.
JaVale. Oh, they
Yeah,
did
they
add
did.
JaVale.
They added JaVale.
JaVale is a good addition. He still wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I thought the Mavericks needed a center.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna go for go for a center, like go out of the way to try and get a big, not a big name because it's kind of hard to get those guys. I don't know if they could have got Rudy or if they would have wanted Rudy, but like someone a little higher quality than JaVale, you know, like a starter level center. I think Christian Wood fits with them though because he can space the floor, obviously, but it's not game changing, especially if you lose Jalen Brunson, because it's kind of just like
Yeah, he was a
a
big part of that.
similar,
He was a big part of that team.
right? Similar level player, just at different positions.
Mhm.
Um,
I'll go
know.
second.
You got an 8.
Okay. My number 8 is the Mavericks. They pretty much lost Jalen Brunson and they added Mohamedou Gueye. I don't know. He was an undrafted rookie. But
Game changing.
but he's undrafted.
is he
He's
from
gonna go
Greece?
crazy. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. He's from somewhere, not the
Yeah.
United States. Like,
But basically, you already said what needed to be said. Their roster it's just Luca and friends. Like that's
Yeah.
all that the team is.
Damn.
Like there's no co-star. It's just he lost his co-stars. He lost Bobby. Like what other team has an actor paid NBA player
Come on
like
now.
Bobby? Come on.
Yeah.
You
Who do
you
you
know
got?
what the Rockets should buy out
Bobby?
Boban
Just so we could go back to Dallas.
so he
Huh?
can go back to Dallas, bro. I really hope so. I
Who
should
do you
start
have
like a
at 8, Frank? Because you
uh
looked at us like we were crazy.
dude. No, I had the Mavericks.
Okay.
Uh they lost Jalen Brunson. That's a big thing. That's a big blow.
Yeah.
I was when I saw that, I'm like, and they don't get like. I mean, I know they have Christian Wood, but that was like it was a shared scoring load between Luca, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Jalen Brunson.
Mhm.
And now Brunson's gone. I know you get Tim Hardaway back because he was injured, but
Yeah.
that's not Tim Hardaway isn't no Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Jalen Brunson got paid a lot of money in New York. I mean, he deserves it. He earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't lose. You can't lose a player like that. I just don't.
Right.
So
Unless
that's
they
and
in
the players
free agency in the next couple of years, they gotta do something. Like they gotta
Right.
try and get somebody.
somebody that wants to play with Luke.
Right.
Because you ain't gonna just get a player that wants to go. Like you need like a high quality player, like a superstar caliber player or
Hey,
something.
Chris Middleton is off his player has a player option this year. I
Chris
think Chris
Middleton is
Middleton in
not.
Dallas would be perfect.
Chris
I think
Middleton's
it
not
would.
leaving Milwaukee.
I don't think he would.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't seem
wouldn't
like the type.
Giannis.
I don't think he doesn't seem like the type to, but he would be a good fit. Someone like that.
Yeah.
Who
He
can
would
also
be.
like Jalen Brown maybe in the next couple of years
Mhm.
if he doesn't want to stay in Boston to Dallas would be really cool.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
There's ways that this can happen. They also did draft Jaden Hardy, who was highly touted at the start of the draft, but
He
kind of
was.
fell off as the
He
year.
was like the projected one, right?
Right,
And then he just
projected top 5, and then
Yeah.
Right,
it's
and then they
just
got
like,
him late though. That's
Yeah.
pretty good
yeah,
though.
they got him in the second round, because his
he
stock
has
has
the
gone
confidence.
down.
He was a 5-star out of high school as well.
Right, he's got the scoring prowess. Like he definitely has
Yeah.
the makings of an elite scorer. There's just he plays like a high schooler essentially. Like like a star player on a high school team. Like the coach's son is the best player on the high school team. He
Yeah.
can kind of just take whatever
Mhm.
shot he wants. He thinks he can take any shot and he can make any shot because he can. He can make any shot, but that doesn't mean it's a good shot.
Yeah.
So
I
he
understand what you're
kind of
saying.
has to get like in a better mentality. But hopefully he doesn't. I know sometimes some guys who are like told to tone down their scoring, become passive. I don't want him to become passive. I still want him to be that scorer that he is at heart. He just needs to know when to turn on the scoring mode and then turn on the let me take a back seat role, especially with Luca.
He's a
He's not
spark
gonna have
plug
the
off
ball
the
in his hand.
bench.
Right. Like if he wants to just be a scorer, just make him the sixth man and let him run the
Yeah.
second option. But still, you got to know when to not take those shots
Tone
and
it
when
down.
to. Right. Exactly.
But like, however, they did re-sign Maxi Kleber and Theo
Huge
Pinson.
signing. Maxi
Yes.
Kleber
He had
specifically.
a great impact in the playoffs. I have no clue who Theo Pinson is, but they signed him for a reason.
The Mavericks have
So,
a
yeah.
lot of really high quality role players.
Oh, yes, Luca and role players. That's what.
But it's
that's
not
why
even just like role players. It's like really, really good role players that any team would want. Like
right.
they just don't have that guy, the second guy.
But maybe that's how they.
Luka and
Because I thought about it, like all these teams want a star and a second star and things like
Mhm.
that. But maybe Luca and high quality role players
is the way
good
to go.
enough.
is the way to go. Maybe because people are like, can Luca really play with a second star? Maybe this is how it should be done. But I know it's not.
Luka doesn't need a
hasn't been
second
working.
star. I
That's what
think
I'm
the thing
saying.
they need most is a center, like a true center. That would save them
That's
a
what's
lot.
holding them back.
Like a true center would go a long way for them. Christian Wood isn't really a true center. He's like a power forward.
Andre Drummond would be a great center.
Right. Someone who's like gonna get rebounds and can protect the paint. Mitchell Robinson is someone who, if they wanted to go after, I don't know if he was a restricted free agent or an unrestricted free agent, but if they got Mitchell Robinson, they would be higher. Or someone like that who can literally just protect the paint, catch lobs from Luca, set screens, and get rebounds. That's what they need, especially in the West. Because you got to go against Jokic. Who's guarding Jokic on this team? It's not Christian Wood. It's not Maxi Kleber.
It's JaVale.
And JaVale is old. I don't think he can guard Jokic.
Yeah, they got a double team. Anyway.
They might have to put Dorian Finney-Smith on him, who's not a terrible defender, but on Jokic, come on. Or like, who's guarding when they go against Minnesota? What are they gonna do?
They're just gonna get outboarded. But they are a good rebounding team for no reason. Like, they don't
they're
have
a
the size,
good
but they're a great
they're a
rebounding team.
good rebounding team because
Yeah.
Luka's a good rebounder, and then the guys who aren't as tall are good rebounders too. They like all
Yeah.
buy into getting the boards, but it's just like we saw against certain teams that it was an issue where they needed a center.
Against the
Like in
Warriors specifically, where they
some
just got
games
killed by
against
Kevin Looney or Kevon
some,
Looney.
yeah, some games against the Jazz, I was like, dude, these guys really need a center, and that was against Gobert. Gobert's not the most impound in what's it called? I don't know the word, but like
Impactful.
yeah,
Or
offensively, but like you can tell they need that height. But I think it's an easy thing for them to find. There's a good amount of centers who can do what I think they need. It's just a matter of them getting that guy essentially.
Yeah, well, it ain't this year.
Yeah, they definitely did not. Number 7, who you guys got? Ethan, you start us off.
okay, I got the Clippers. So
Wow.
Wow.
I know. But like, it's Kawhi. But like, Kawhi, it really comes down to how Kawhi
Health.
recovers. It looks like he's recovered great, but like, bro's
It's
he's
a
gotten big. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but bro's
Yeah,
gotten
he's swole. He's swole now.
Big swole?
Like
Yeah.
big swole. 6'1".
bigger than Big Swole.
Bigger than Big Swole.
But like,
Huge swole.
yeah, he's gotten big.
And
But
he has what's it called?
bas-
They have everything in place. They're kind of like the Mavericks where they have their star player and a bunch of high quality role players, but they also have Paul George. So
yeah. And then they also signed they signed John Wall. But if Kawhi goes down, it'll be a repeat of last year plus John Wall. Like, it also comes down to load management. I think Ime Udoka needs to learn something about that too. But yeah.
What?
Huh?
What does that even mean?
Ime Udoka? He's managing some different types of loads off the court.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically, it comes down to Kawhi's availability on how much he can play.
Yeah, and Paul George.
That's
and
why I
John
have
Wall,
them so low.
because they were all
Yeah.
injured last year. Or
They're all
John Wall wasn't injured; he just doesn't play. But like, they all have to kind
Really?
of get in the groove. Yeah, he was on the Rockets. He was healthy. They just don't play him because they're
Oh,
trying to get their
I thought-
young guys
oh.
minutes. They
Yeah.
don't play him.
Right.
I
I think it's awesome how normal guy John Wall who doesn't play was paid like 40+ million to do
Right.
something.
He was just chilling.
He was
Like
chilling, making a bag.
right. What's it called? Yeah, I like the Clippers a lot more than you do. I think, are you a little more doubtful of their health? Is that the thing?
I'm just doubtful of availability.
Okay, that's understandable. Because I thought about having them lower than I did just because of that reason. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be optimistic, and I have them a lot higher than you do.
Mhm.
Same.
But I get where you're coming from. I can see the concern. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
definitely, especially with Kawhi.
It's not a terrible take at all. Now, if
It's
you
just
said
if
like
Kawhi goes down, then
if
it's a
Paul
repeat of
George,
last year.
again, it's their top 3 players. They all have injury history and like serious injury history. John
Mhm.
Wall is coming off an ACL or an Achilles, one or the other. Kawhi has been dealing with knee problems for a long, long time since he was in San Antonio, pretty much. And then Paul George he's always taking up nicks and knacks and little injuries that take him out. Like last year, he was out for half of the year, and then he missed the second playing game. Like,
Oh yeah, that was because of COVID.
that was COVID, but still, it's kind of like a availability thing. But that's a lot more unpredictable. But
Yeah, that's why I have them low because
yeah,
of the availability
understandable.
of their top players.
But if they are healthy,
if they
they're
are, obviously,
one of those teams.
they're one of the best teams.
Because they do have like the role players they have are like Mavericks level of quality, and they have
Yeah.
the star power.
They do.
We're at 7.
We are
Yes.
at 7.
You want to go first, Frank, or me?
I got the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we all have different teams
You know, I know y'all are high on Zion. I'm not.
because
I
you think
don't-
he's always going to be hurt.
I think he's gonna not. I don't think he's gonna play as much as y'all think he's gonna play, but maybe he will, and that's why I have him higher than like Mavericks and Portland and things like that. Because the rest of the roster is it's
Very,
decent,
very good. I'd say
very very good.
I mean, they have Herbert Jones. He's a really solid role player. CJ,
Herbert.
Brandon Ingram.
Dyson
Jackson
Daniels.
Dyson
Yeah.
Daniels is a good rookie. Jackson Hayes, if he's not doing anything that's illegal, is pretty solid.
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas is a rebounding demon.
Right. Like they got some guys. That's a
Right.
really good
Them
roster.
them without Zion is a playing team, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Mhm.
In my
Okay.
opinion. Which what that was what it was last year too, right?
They
Weren't
were
in the
yeah,
play?
they were technically a playing team. They were like the 8 seed though.
Okay, but that's without
Technically
Zion,
speaking,
right?
yeah. But if Zion plays, even if it's like a very few amount more games than you did last year,
Yeah.
their record's going to improve. No, like because he's
Right.
gonna play next year. There's no way they get worse. So
Right. And CJ's gonna play the whole year this time.
right. So there's literally no way they get worse, in my opinion, unless an injury happens to someone who we don't expect it to happen to, like Brandon Ingram or CJ.
Yeah, I think that makes So they're either that just makes them top tier playing team or a playoff team,
Right.
lower tier playoff team, but so they got some.
I
So
have Denver at 7.
yeah, that's not a bad take.
I think they're a good roster. I like them adding Bruce Brown and KCP. I think both of those guys are really solid, role players who can do their thing. They have very niche roles on whatever team they're on. KCP is obviously a floor spacer who can kind of play some defense. He's not an amazing defender, but he can play some defense. And then Bruce Brown is a defensive specialist. That's kind of what he does. He plays defense, and he can also space the floor. I just Michael Porter Jr. with the back injury that's reoccurring scares me because it's clearly an issue with him. So that has me a little concerned. I don't know if he's gonna come back looking like Michael Porter Jr. that we know, or even half of that. And then Jamal Murray with an ACL or was it an Achilles?
ACL.
ACL injury.
ACL.
So, ACL injuries are serious. So I don't know if he's gonna come back the same. But if they do, I think they're a really good team. It just comes down to the injuries.
Yeah, for sure. I see what you're saying. They saw their MVP candidate,
Yeah, like it's
former
they have
MVP.
Jokic.
They're gonna be up there.
Right. Even if they are the 7 seed, I still think it's going to take them a lot of wins to even get to the 7 seed.
All right. You go number 6.
Yeah, I'll start us with
You'll
6.
start.
At 6, I have the Pelicans, just because I'm a bit higher on the amount of games Zion's going to play than you.
Gotcha.
I still think it's going to be a chemistry thing because there's a lot of guys on that team who are going to need to, get shots. Like, CJ's got to get his shots. Brandon's got to get his shots. Valanciunas has to get his shots. Zion has to get his shots. That's 4 guys. Not a bad thing. It's nice to have 4 dudes who can give you 20 on any night, but like
Valanciunas don't need no shots.
yeah, he needs the shots. He averaged 17 last year.
He can get shots by getting offensive rebounds.
Right. He can get putbacks.
He can get putbacks.
They have 4 really good starters, and then they have Herbert Jones. They have Trey. What's his name?
Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado, Dyson Daniels. Like they got some really good role players, even though they're younger.
Love Grand Theft.
Jackson Hayes, like I said before, if he's not, doing something illegal,
Biting dogs.
right?
He bit a dog.
Good. Yes.
Wait,
Bit
who?
a dog.
Yeah.
He did.
He bit his
Wait, no.
girlfriend's dog.
Who bit a
Jackson-
dog?
Jackson Hayes did.
Jackson Hayes. He bit his girlfriend's dog.
There's no way someone bit a dog. Are you
Yeah,
sure?
no, it was on March 25th of this year. He was sued for assault and battery.
Against a dog.
Yeah, well, girlfriend and dog.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was his
So wait,
girlfriend.
he bit both. He bit both.
No.
No, he
He
bit
just
the dog.
he cussed her out, hit her with a suitcase he tossed across the room, physically prevented her from leaving the room, and broke down a bathroom door to rip her phone out of her hand.
I hate Jackson Hayes. Imagine buying a dog.
Not according to the docs, Jamora claims Jackson, his 2 dogs, and his cousins were staying in their Los Angeles homes. Blah blah blah. Oh, in the suit, Jamora claims she left Jackson at the home during the day while she was at a photo shoot and came home to find her dog severely injured, blaming the bite wounds on Jackson's bigger dogs.
Oh.
So he didn't bite the dogs. His dogs bit the dog.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that
Still might have been him.
I'm reading TMZ.
Okay. All right.
Jackson Hayes has that dog in him, but not
No.
in that way.
Yeah, poor dog, man. I love dogs.
Jackson Hayes didn't bite a dog. Dang, I'm disappointed now. I was hoping he did. That would be such a funny story. Like
Poverty franchise player of the
player of
year.
the poverty franchise player of the
Of the decade.
decade.
Of the
Like,
decade, Jackson Hayes bit a
you don't
dog.
remember that one time Jackson Hayes bit a dog? Like, but yeah, I have New Orleans. They just have a really good roster, assortment of talent.
At 6, I got New Orleans as well. We got CJ. I think CJ is gonna take more of like a playmaking,
Backseat.
distributing type role.
Yeah.
Backseat, yeah.
He's gonna have
Let
to.
everyone else take shots. Yeah. Because of course Zion's gonna want to eat. Bro, I didn't mean it like that.
Nah. Zion's gonna want to eat. He is gonna want to eat, bro. He's gonna
want to
be
eat.
If he eats so much, he can't even
Yeah.
play.
Zion Williamson.
He'd be on like he's
But
be on,
yeah,
like Burger King commercial.
he's gonna want to take some shots. And CJ's just gonna have to take a backseat role. Dyson could also set people up if necessary. And yeah.
It's a solid roster.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A
For
very
sure.
solid roster. And they have a lot of positional versatility because Brandon Ingram can play the 2, the 3, the 4. Zion can play the 4, the 5, even though he's still undersized for the 5. Sometimes he can play it. Herbert Jones can play the 2, the 3, or the 4.
2, 3.
Dyson can play the 1, the 2, or the 3, in my opinion. You know, they got some guys who could play a lot of positions. Trey Murphy could play the 2, the 3, or the 4. Like, they have a lot of wings. And a lot of them have, like, really long wingspans. Like, what do you do on offense if you have Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Valanciunas, Trey Murphy, and Jose Alvarado on the defensive side of the ball? Even though, obviously, Brandon Ingram isn't the best defender, but he has that wingspan and that reach, which is kind of something you got to look out for.
Jose
Impact.
Alvarado wouldn't even be playing defense. He'd just sneak up behind you.
Right. Like, that's a really good for young role players. The Pelicans are really like huge in that market. Like, they got those guys. I think Herbert Jones is going to be in the league for a long time. Jose is going to be in the league for a long time. Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels.
How long do you think that sneaking up behind people is gonna work?
Not ever again. Like,
Honestly,
honestly,
it will
It
work.
worked all of last year.
I think
it worked all of last year.
It's always gonna work. Just because in the heat of the moment you don't think about it.
You don't.
But eventually people are gonna catch on and it's gonna happen way less often than it does now.
It'll happen to different players, but I feel like if it happens to a single player, like Chris Paul ain't letting that happen no more.
Ever again. Like,
yeah.
Certain players I just don't think they would let it happen. Like, I don't think LeBron's letting that happen to him.
It's gonna happen to LeBron. Watch it.
First game of the year, LeBron just like
We're calling it. I'm calling
10
it.
turnovers. All
turnovers.
Jose Alvarado.
I'm posting a bet on it.
Over
LeBron.
under Jose Alvarado steals on LeBron when he's chasing him from behind.
Over under 3.
Like,
no, not 2.
3?
Over
you
under
mean
2.
1/2? Like,
no. Over under 2 the whole year.
All right, let's get into this top 5.
What? I haven't even said my 6.
Oh, who's your 6?
I had Denver.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, be sorry. Ethan, you a biased fan because you haven't named Denver yet.
Yeah, I'm in top 5. That's crazy.
But they're MVP. We talked about them before, but the injuries coming back. They got the MVP candidate. They got shot chucker Bones Highland. Sorry.
Hey,
hopefully he shoots a better percentage this year.
Have you ever seen Aaron Gordon's house?
In Aaron Gordon's house, his my court house, bro.
Right.
Nah, I've
my
not
God.
seen Aaron Gordon's
Bro,
house.
the videos on Instagram. His house is literally like the my court in 2K, where he has a basketball court in his house, full size.
He has a basketball court in his
like
house,
a warehouse.
cars on the side, and then like a 2-deck.
It's like a warehouse.
That's fire.
It's a whole building, bro.
I wish that's an amazing house to live in. You just get up, make some cereal, hop on a my court.
Hop on the my court.
Change your meter real quick, work on your badges or something.
Change your meter.
Call
Right,
up.
exactly.
What's his name? What's that guy's name?
Call up
What's that guy's name? Your rival.
Shep Owens.
Shep
Owens.
Hey, yo, Shep, I need some work. Hop in the gym hop in my court with me real quick.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. But I also love KCP. He's a good addition.
Player.
Good role player.
Bruce Brown too. I really like Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown did a lot of things, rebounds. He can shoot sometimes. He does the dirty work,
Yeah.
You need that.
Solid guys.
All right. Number 5, we can start.
I'll go with
top 5 is tight. Top 5 is
I got the Nuggets.
Okay. So you weren't that much higher
on them.
Yeah.
I'm higher on them for the recovery of Jamal and MPJ. Also Christian Braun showing up. Bro's been cooking people in practice. Obviously, I don't think you guys have seen it, but like I'm pretty high on
Yeah,
him.
no, you
But
keep up with the
yeah.
Nuggets practices.
And
Like,
then
I don't.
Bones Highland, I think he's due for a breakout. A
as a
breakout.
six man,
Breakout. Yeah.
he was
Because
good
they
last year
obviously
as
got
is.
they
So
got
He
he
was
was
good.
good last year. Yeah, he was good. There's no denying that.
Mhm.
They got rid of
Monte Morris.
Monte and
I don't like that loss.
the
It's
other
a big
guy,
loss.
Campazzo.
Barton. Will Barton.
Oh, Will
Will Barton.
Barton to open up the minutes for him.
They got rid of both
obviously.
of them. Yeah.
And
So they
then
obviously trust him enough to replace that role of being that off the bench or two guard.
I will say
And
this: unless you guys get a different backup center who's not DeAndre Jordan, like I don't know if I trust you guys' bench because
Where's Cousins?
he's not on the roster. He's a free agent. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure.
Hopefully he
not on the
signs.
roster.
Hopefully he signs back there because
They need a center. Like
work-
DeAndre Jordan does not need to be in the NBA anymore. It's been tried. It's been experimented with. He's done. He can't contribute anymore.
he's just collecting paychecks. That's all.
He's been on what, the Clippers, the Mavericks, the Knicks, the Lakers,
Sixers.
the Sixers, the Nets. Now he's on the Nuggets. Like
No, don't
Ring
worry about
chaser.
it though. Don't worry. So we signed Jack White,
mm,
undrafted rookie, 2020, and yeah, I have no clue who this guy is.
Hey, he might
He's
he
a
might
difference maker.
average 1.2 rebounds a game.
But we lost Austin Rivers, unfortunately, and Monte
Where's he?
Morris,
Where's he? Where's Austin Rivers?
Timberwolves.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a good pickup for them.
Yeah. And then Bryn Forbes also went to the Timberwolves.
It's two solid guys. But it's still a good roster. You guys should be competitive. Even
Yeah.
though I have them a little lower than you, they're still in like the 7-5 range is where I see on that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think they really need Cousins back though. I hope he goes back.
They
because
they really just need a center in general.
Yeah.
Because they kind of played him like Jokic in a way.
They
Mhm.
played
Like-
him like that backup, like a secondary Jokic.
Secondary Jokic, and that's awesome. They need that.
And he has a skill set to do it.
He does.
He's not like a Joel Embiid or anything like that, but he's definitely a very offensively capable center.
Right.
However, we lost Facundo Campazzo.
Is he
Spain's
even in the league anymore? Or is that the end of his
Argentina.
career?
It's probably the end of his career.
Because he's
He's making
already
more money
like
there, huh?
after his it's
Yeah.
post his 30s.
He's like 32.
Yeah, so his
Yeah.
career is over, but
Yeah.
it was a nice little short-lived career. He had his
Argentina's
moments.
in shambles right now.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
yeah,
I'll go next for 5. At 5, I have Memphis.
Ooh.
They're good. I think they're still really good. They just didn't really do anything. I mean, they added Danny Green. I think that's like the big addition that I can think of. As far as who they added, there's not a lot for me to really say. They just kind of stayed the same, and they were good as is. I just think some other teams got better and kind of jumped them. Not necessarily jumped them, but like I just believe in the upside of other teams. Oh, if
Mhm.
anything, they lost players. They lost Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton, who were both really good like bench players. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna justify them falling down a few slots.
Okay. That's not a bad take.
Who's your 5, Frank?
I had Minnesota at 5.
Okay, I thought that's who you're gonna have.
Why is that?
I just thought I didn't think you were the type of person to have the Suns at 5, and you didn't seem like you agree with the Grizzlies. So I was like, it has to be Minnesota.
Well, I would put the Suns there. I was close, but
Really?
I was close. Yeah. But what? Carlton Towns a championship or bust? I don't really know about that.
Yeah.
They're gonna bust. You know what I'm saying?
Second rounder bust, maybe. Like,
Second round or bust.
like championship is huge.
They're talented. They got their stars. They got their role players. Now they got a good front court, really good front court. Right.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert's a big pickup. They got Kyle Anderson now.
And they got Anthony Edwards. Like, come on.
Anthony
now.
Edwards,
That
and
man
he's
is
gonna.
like-
That's right. I had him high on my shooting guards list, or
Yeah.
small forward shooting guard.
He's
Whatever list I put him on.
Right.
I was saying that he was gonna have a better year. Like
And he was already really good.
he was already
20 in
really
scoring.
good, but he's gonna be like. You said top what?
He was top 20 in scoring last year.
Oh, okay, well he's about to be like top 10 in scoring. He's or top.
Top
I need
15
I
maybe.
need him to be the number 1 option.
Yeah. Or
Like,
at least like a very close 2 to Cat.
Right.
Like it
just
should be
that-
extremely close.
he needs to be that guy. So
I honestly just the only thing I don't like about this roster is D'Angelo Russell. I just don't like the type of point guard he is for this type of roster. I think they kind of need someone who's less of a scorer and more of a playmaker. And I think D'Angelo Russell's calling card is definitely his scoring over his playmaking.
definitely.
So that's my one gripe with this roster. I don't think they're the most deep roster ever. I mean, they have role players like Kyle Anderson and stuff like that, but they're still not amazingly deep.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
also worried about how they match up against certain teams. Like when teams go small ball, what do they do?
Specifically the Warriors.
Exactly. Like what do they do when
What do they do? They
I mean, what does anyone do when they play the Warriors? But like I just don't know.
what does anyone do when whenever what happens whenever Gobert has to play against a 5-out?
He goes on the bench. Like
He goes on the bench and it's not good, right?
but then you keep Cat in, I guess. Like
Keep Cat in, you have Kyle Anderson, you got
right.
Torian Prince. You got people you can put there that can D and 3, you know what I'm saying?
No, because you keep put Kyle Anderson and run a 5-out against them as well.
Right. They can match up as far as the 5-out goes. They have the best shooting big in the league. They honestly have the best shooting 3-point shooting big man really of all time. So like
Of all time. It's so
I
weird
don't
to
know. I
say.
think Shaq should be up there.
Shaq hit 2. And the 2 he hit were actually mad impressive. They were not at the 3-point line. I had at 4 I had Minnesota. Just because I think they're gonna be really good in the regular season. Like they can at least offensively, they can go toe to toe with anybody. And then defensively, they can, as long as they know how to run the rotations to where they're not getting cooked in 5 outs and things like that. And they know when's a good time to play Rudy and when's not. But I mean, on defense, they're still a really good team. Like even if you get past, their defensive players, you still have to go to Rudy. And Rudy's just a really good floor raiser, like for defense.
Oh yeah. Makes her run a lot easier.
I just expect them to be an extremely good regular season team. I don't know how much that's going to translate to the postseason. But in the regular season, I expect them to kill it. I just really like
say for my 4, I got the Grizzlies because they didn't really make many moves, and I don't know. No. It's just Grizzlies.
Yeah.
That's it. Just the Grizzlies.
Oh, okay.
Khalil, that was you said your 5. You didn't say your 4 yet, right?
I just said my 4. My 4 is Minnesota.
You said Timberwolves.
Your 4 is Timberwolves. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I have Suns at 4.
Okay.
I'm not really liking their team chemistry right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, no, actually, no, that's a lie. I take that back. DeAndre Ayton said he didn't want to be there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with him. He's good. When looking at the team, they don't look deep, but they are in a way.
They have good role players. It's just like they're not necessarily deep.
I think they've had some of the best team chemistry in the past couple of years. Like really good. Booker's still gonna be him. Mikal Bridges is still gonna be him. Chris Paul is gonna take a dip.
Yeah, that's like gonna happen.
That's the part I don't. That's the part I'm not. I'm kind of iffy.
I just think there's no way he continues to be as good as he was, especially how he looked in the last time we saw Chris Paul.
He already took a hit last season,
right? So
I'm putting Suns at 5. I'm flipping.
Oh, so you're moving who up? Minnesota.
Minnesota will be at 4 for me
and Phoenix at 5.
They just have more ups right
I'm
now.
gonna switch something now. I'm switching the Suns and Grizzlies. I had Suns at 3, Grizzlies at 4. Moving the Grizzlies up to 3, Suns at 4.
I'm keeping the Suns where I have them. I don't know. I'm gonna keep them
because
I think it's a good point. Though. I definitely have them dropping off from being the only 60+ win team in the league last year.
Right, that's not gonna happen.
There's no way it happens. Too much issues off the court with that team. So, and their owner.
Because
I forgot about that completely. Their owner's racist. Yeah, Robert. I think his name is Robert Sarver or something like that.
He's gonna sell both franchises.
That's not even a punishment. He's gonna walk out of there with like $20 billion, living in Cancun, minding his business, drinking mimosas every day.
Right.
No, the next GTA heist is gonna be Robert Sorver
against the Suns.
Against the Suns.
Instead of Lester, it's gonna be Devin Booker calling you.
Lester.
But yeah, Phoenix is like really interesting. I think it's a really good team still. I'm gonna still definitely tune into a lot of their games because they're still a really great team. Um,
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
still got Aiton Crowder. They still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on the roster who I still really trust a lot for
Yeah, I agree.
whatever,
I agree with you.
around 8
100%.
players. And then I don't know too much about Josh Okogie. I haven't watched a lot of his games, but like
Me neither.
clearly he's still in the league for a reason. So
Right.
he's probably
Um.
solid. But I really trust like 8 guys on this team to contribute.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying.
I
I just
mean,
think they
Book also got a bigger contract, so that might encourage him to play better or do
hell
more.
that is no.
I
That's
think
not
they're gonna
Yeah.
lose
what?
people. And after this offseason, they're gonna lose people. There's
Oh
no way
yeah,
they can
they are.
keep this whole core for this long. Either
They're
Jay
not.
Crowder's gonna go, um, what's it called? Chris Paul is probably gonna retire soon. This
Hmm.
might be his last year. Cam Johnson might have to go. Like they don't have Booker's on a new contract, Aiton's on a new contract.
They would have to
And if
pay
it
McHale soon, right?
and if it comes down to Cam Johnson,
Oh
McHale,
my
Jay
God.
Crowder, or Chris Paul, they're picking McHale.
Never mind. They don't have to pay McHale. They already paid him last year.
What's he on?
Let me check.
But but they still have a lot of guys who are gonna want more money than I think they can afford.
See my
90
thing.
million over 4.
Oh,
Does that kick in this year?
Yeah.
Book's extension kicks in this year, and then Aiton's extension kicks in this year. So their cap space is going to be messed up from here on out.
yeah. See, my thing is that they're not. They missed their window, in my opinion,
The
to
championship window.
a championship window.
It was last
It's
year. Like
it
if
was
any
last
year
year,
they were
or
going to
like
win it, it was last year or the
it
year
was
before.
no, no, it was the year before when they were in the finals. That was it. And as that happened, it gets lower and lower.
Right, because
I think they missed it. It's not gonna happen.
Chris Paul's only regressing from here on
right
out.
when you're third best, or honest third or second best player on the team, depending on how you feel about Aiton and Chris Paul, is 37, 38. He can't get better. Like you know what you have then, and that's it. Anytime after that, it's not going to be an improvement. Um, but yeah, their championship window to me is probably closed.
Yeah, I think it sounds like it get worse in the next couple of years.
Right.
It's not
Like
looking
I
good
think
good for
they're
them.
gonna be
They're gonna
good in
be,
the regular season. Go ahead, Frank.
but they're just gonna be like it's gonna be Booker and a few other players, and
Yeah, they're not going to be able to afford that many people. That's the thing. Like,
It's
yeah,
eventually gonna turn out to be like a Mavericks, but worse.
right.
Like
This is
it's
going to
gonna
be
end up
very
being Devin
top
Booker and
heavy.
friends.
yeah,
But I mean, it's a good 3 like young stars. It's just a lot of money. But yeah, I'm gonna go on to what are we on 3 now?
yeah.
3 is where I have Phoenix. I mean, they still have one of the best coaches in the league.
They
Monty
do.
Williams is still one of the better coaches.
Oh
Chris
yeah,
Paul is one of the smarter players, even if he's not gonna be able to score the basketball as much. Um, he's not gonna make costly mistakes. I don't think that's not in Chris Paul's character. Devin Booker is still, a really good scorer. McCall Bridges is always available. Jay Crowder spaces the floor, and if Jay Crowder's not hitting his threes, put in Cam Johnson. He's gonna hit his threes. And then DeAndre Ayton, if he even wants to play for this team, um, is still a solid center. So I like the roster. We don't have to talk about them any longer though, because we just ranted about them for a bit.
yeah.
I'll go 3.
Okay.
I moved up the Grizzlies with the
Mhm.
Suns, swapped them.
Oh, okay, so you swapped them.
Yeah, I swapped them. But the Grizzlies because I don't know. It's just
It's the
Jaw,
Grizzlies. They were already
Jaren
good, so it's
Jackson.
like,
Yeah, I guess you can say they got better. Added Danny Green, but
if
I don't
he
know how you feel
plays,
about that because he is older.
yeah,
He old.
But they did add Kenny Lofton Jr.
the
embodying Chet Holmgren. How
470
you feel about that?
6'1" guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
All
And
right.
David Roddy. I think he's also a
Yeah,
unit.
they're both big.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we're at the top 2, huh?
I'm at 3. I gotta say my
Oh,
3.
who's your 3?
My 2 and 3 are so close. Like I don't know what to do. It was like I don't really know. So I'm gonna just go and I'll say the Clips.
Are your 3?
Clips are my 3. I mean, I know we talked about them already.
Mhm.
Hoping Kawhi comes back healthy. Because Kawhi, I love watching Kawhi play. He's just an overall great person, player, just all around.
Mhm.
They got role players. They got everything they need to I think win. Let's just say.
Yeah.
But we're not sure about how people come out from injuries, so that's why I have a couple teams above the Clips right now.
Kawhi needs to switch knees with Megan Thee Stallion.
What?
What?
Say what again?
Kawhi needs to switch knees with Megan Thee Stallion.
True. Real.
Or D Rose. Like D Rose, either one of them
Needs Megan's knees.
Yeah.
Megan's knees.
I need
Where's it
them.
going?
You need
Yeah,
them?
you need
you
them.
definitely
You
need them.
definitely need them. Number 2, I have the Clippers at 2.
All right.
Just because I'm optimistic on the health side. We don't have to
Mm.
go into crazy detail. We know who they have. It's just health. That's their only thing.
Yep.
And even if they're not healthy, the thing is, if Kawhi goes out, the Clippers were already 500 without Kawhi last year. So they're still gonna have John Wall, who's a better player than the guys they had last year.
Yeah, they got Norman Powell still.
Right. Like I haven't even thought about Norman Powell. Like that starting lineup is crazy. It's gonna be what? John Wall, Norman Powell, Paul George, Kawhi, Zubac.
They might do
Powell off the
Wall, Powell off the bench. Do Wall with George, Kawhi, and Nick Batum.
Yeah, they probably need to put some defender on.
They want Nick Batum in the starting lineup for some reason. They just like doing.
I mean, he plays defense, even though he didn't play defense on that play against
shoot
the
threes.
Thunder, where he just watched Shea step back and didn't close out. You know what I'm talking? Like he just watched it happen.
Legit, it's like watching Damian Lillard shoot that shot.
Right, he was just like, "Oh, well, he stepped back, guys. I can't do anything about this." They still got Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris. They still got really good role players. Still got Covington, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do have Covington. Marcus Morris, I love Marcus Morris as a role player. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And who's your 2, Ethan?
Mine's gonna stand out. I got the Seawolves, as we already mentioned, or we talked about this earlier. I'm a bit lower on the Clippers.
Seawolves.
But
the T-Wolves.
Oh, no, you said Seawolves.
But if the Timberwolves run a 2-3 zone, I think it's 2-3. So 2 up in the perimeter, and then 2 other in the corner, and then Gobert in the paint just standing there, similar to what the Jazz did. And then, to avoid him getting a violation, of course, just guard nearest man. And then he can just easily pick up on that. So everyone slides over, rotations,
play safety,
chemistry.
essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. He's going to be playing free safety to the rim. Yeah. And I'm sure he can.
Oh, he can. He's been doing it his whole career.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how they would establish it on defense. I don't know how they would do that with Cat on the floor, though, because he's not fast. Maybe Kyle Anderson. I don't know if he's fast like that.
He's not the slowest big.
Yeah, he's not the slowest big. He can move.
But he's not Bam.
He's not the most mobile one. Yeah. But pretty much, if they had a mobile 4, they don't even need a real 4. They could have a 3 there. Yeah, it would still work. But of course, I'm sure they would want Gobert and Cat on the court at the same time because Cat's scoring and
Gobert's,
everyone. Yeah,
and it's just the best. If you had to pair Gobert up with any big man in the league, Cat is the guy you want to do it with.
Right.
Literally, man, I would say Jokic.
Or Jokic. Oh yeah, or Jokic.
Or Jokic. That would be an insane duo. It's Cat or Jokic. Those are the only 2. I would probably go with Cat because he's definitely a lot more athletic and mobile than Jokic is. That would be a very slow front court if you had Jokic and Gobert.
Yeah, you feel like going to shove blobs out there, man.
Right, just walking on the fast break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Give me the ball.
What? Wait, where is Jokic from? It's not. It's not
from Serbia.
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 That's right.
Gobert's from France.
Gobert's from France, right?
France.
Yeah.
Hey, but y'all know where Luka is from.
Slovenia.
Where's Kristaps from?
Slovakia? I don't know.
What? No, he's from. I don't know where Tingus.
He's from Latvia.
Latvia. That's what I thought.
Okay, I was gonna see if y'all know all the
foreign-born NBA players.
The foreign-born stars.
I think Maxi Kleber is from Germany.
He is.
Yeah. Tony Parker was French.
Dennis Schroeder is German.
He was cooking up.
He was cooking.
Bo Cruz is.
Eddie Osman's from Turkish or Turkey.
From Turkish.
Like Ennis Freedom.
Yeah, it is. Ennis Freedom.
Ennis Freedom. That's so funny. He changed his name.
His whole name.
just
Is he
because
in the league anymore?
I don't know, because all I know is that he said something about LeBron supporting China or something,
And now
and he
he's
changed
not
his name to Ennis Freedom
he wanted to be
because
meta world peace so bad. Like, geez.
yeah,
Bro.
and then maybe LeBron took him out of the league or something.
LeBron called up Adam Silver and was like, "Hey, in his freedom, get him out the league."
Ennis Freedom will not play.
Yeah.
He's not on the team.
I think if he's on the team, even
The
if he is
last
on
team
the
he
team,
was on was the 21. Wait, is that?
I thought he played. I thought he was on the He was on the Celtics.
Not this year, I don't
Not
think.
this year.
Not this year, but
Yeah, the
I don't
last
think
team he was on was the Celtics team before the chip.
Dang, he
before
ain't
the
been on
chip.
a
Before
team
the
for
chip.
a while. Embarrassing to say Enes Cancer was a former Thunder player. And we had a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook. We had, what was our starting lineup? It was Russell Westbrook, Andre Roberson, Kevin Durant, Enes Cancer, and Steven Adams. What is that floor spacing?
God.
KD is the only one who could shoot on that team.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, at the time, Russ could shoot.
He still wasn't a good shooter. He was better than he is now, but like
Mhm.
his spacing was terrible. But then again, spacing was so much different. What was considered spacing in like 2016 is different than what's
three-point
considered
shooter.
spacing.
It's very
now.
different. Yeah,
Very different. So we all have the same one, right?
I got number
While we're
two.
on the topic of
Same. What?
one. Wait, did you not say your two?
I didn't say my two.
What's your two?
It's Memphis.
Oh,
Memphis had two. We already talked about them. Obviously, they have a lot of good players. I was thinking about putting them at one, honestly, but because John Morant's just that guy. I love Desmond Bain.
they have a lot of really good players.
They have a lot of good players. Bain, Brooks, Jaren Jackson is just
still have Steven Adams,
Brandon Clark.
Zaire Williams is really solid off the bench for
Zaire
at least
Williams
on
is solid.
defense.
He should get better.
Mm-hmm.
Tyus Jones, one of the best backup PGs you got in the league.
It's a really solid roster. You're not
solid
wrong.
team. They were really deep last year. They lost a couple players.
Kyle Anderson and D'Anthony Melton.
D'Anthony Melton, but they still had some people that could still get minutes,
right?
That can contribute. So they don't technically need them. They just lost them. Some people are gonna get more opportunity now.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
They pretty much just subbed him out essentially.
They subbed him out.
Danny Green, I don't know how much he plays anymore or is going to play for them, but he can still hit his threes on some nights. Like
and he'll always play defense on perimeter. Right.
So he's solid. You remember that one time Danny Green had that one random like putback dunk?
Oh, and
he got drug tested.
He got drug tested. That's crazy.
I haven't seen that dunk in forever. Now I'm gonna watch it once the podcast ends because I wanted to see how good that dunk was to where it caused them to drug test him. I want to see that.
That was I can remember just doing it, and then they're like, "Whoa!" Like I saw I watched that live too.
Danny Green.
Was it in the playoffs?
No, it was a regular season game.
It was regular season. Okay.
So we all have Golden State at one. Do we need to?
I got the Jazz.
It's Colin Sexton, 40 points per game score.
No, but for real, yeah. I got the Warriors.
They won the chip. Like, there's no reason.
You have to respect it.
Yeah, they lost GP2 though. I'm really angry.
I dislike how
and
they
Otto Porter
and Otto Porter and Juan Toscano and I really.
They lost some guys, but I just trust the process.
Yeah.
Ain't no way you just trust the process.
I trust.
But Clay and Poole are gonna be better. Let's just say.
Now they did bring in JaMychal Green, who's really solid. And
he's a solid guy.
Yeah. The thing
they
is,
also drafted. Go ahead.
They could afford to lose the guys they lost because they literally had Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga just sitting there as the people waiting to get the, I guess, like quote unquote promotion. Essentially,
yeah, they're gonna play now. So that's what's gonna happen.
And then James Wiseman, I don't know,
he's gonna come back.
He's even an NBA player anymore, but like
Kuminga was like that JV player who suits up for a varsity game,
right? Every once in a while, every once in a while they put him in for a couple minutes or something. Like,
yeah,
James Wiseman is healthy according to Steve Kerr. So
he's healthy. But I don't think he probably won't start though.
Yeah, no, Kevon Looney earned his starting spot.
Or Draymond will start the 4.
Right.
In the summer league, Kuminga didn't look too good. He looked shaky.
Yeah, I don't think Kuminga is a great player on his own. Like, if Kuminga was on the Jazz, he would really not look very good. But I think he fits this just because he knows what he has to do. He's given a very specific thing he has to do, and he has a lot of physical tools rather than like, him doing a lot of stuff.
The ball and score.
It's a Warrior system. It's just,
it just works.
It just works. Gary Payton II is such a big loss, though. I think it's gonna show.
But they did bring in Dante DiVincenzo, who's
That's
really
a
solid.
that's a good pickup.
And they have
100%.
Moses Moody.
What
You
the?
haven't seen that clip of Kendrick Perkins messing up his name?
No, I
On,
want to see
You
that so
haven't?
bad.
on draft night, he could not say his name. Like, he was struggling.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga. Wait, yeah, Jamichael Green is
also
who I meant to say.
they
Jamichael
drafted
Green's a good
Patrick
pickup.
Baldwin, the guy out of Milwaukee. He didn't have
A
the
great
best
season,
collegiate career, or not
but
career, but season.
the flashes
But
are there.
he's
Mhm.
drafted to the Warriors.
All right,
He pretty much is
he's a
underdeveloped in his shooting,
mhm,
which he'll develop under the Warrior system.
right.
Yeah,
He's a
he's gonna be.
it's a good fit.
So we're saying in like 2 years or 1 year, he's gonna be playing. Let's just say.
Yes.
Probably,
As,
maybe
as a
off
role
the
player.
bench.
Something
Yeah,
like
Probably.
that.
we're gonna see him. Like Patrick Baldwin was on the Santa Cruz
Nah,
Warriors for 2 years.
now that I think about it, the Warriors are treating drafts like MLB drafts.
Will
Think
they
about
like get called up? Yeah,
They
because the
get called
roster's
up.
so good.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
haven't. The thing is with the Warriors, they haven't traded for anybody ever. They've never traded for like Wiggins was the only person they traded for, and they got a pick for getting Wiggins. They never like went
It
out of
was
their
when
way
Wiggins
to
was
like
a bump.
That's when D'Lo was looking a little bit better than Wiggins.
right.
And now Wiggins is an all-star starter.
right, like they've never had to trade for any super big name players. Like they didn't trade for Durant, they signed him. The only person who was a big name player at the time of when they signed or traded for them was Iggy. And did they
Right.
even trade for Iggy?
They did.
Let me see that. I want to go back and see what the package was.
There's probably nothing.
Yeah,
was like-
because at the time, like getting a first round pick in general is insane. Like, no, not.
Wait,
not
so did
sweet.
Iggy got a ring, huh?
He did. Yeah,
That's fine.
he was on the Warriors. Is he coming back or is he retired?
I'm trying to see.
It like talks about him coming back.
I'm trying to find. Let's see. I'm trying to find the Iggy trade.
Mm,
Oh, 2013. Found it.
found it.
It was a 3-team trade.
Mm.
It's on an NBA ESPN article from 2013, July 10th. Andre Iguodala went to the Warriors, Randy Foye to the Nuggets, and a trio of expiring contracts to the Jazz.
Oh,
There was literally nothing.
literally nothing.
Like,
Wow.
that's the only guy they traded. And there were no picks involved, it doesn't seem like. Like, pretty
Interesting.
they've just never traded anyone. That's why it's like they're able to do that. They still have all their picks. They're still good.
Right.
Like,
It was weird. They're talking in the beginning of the season, like they're trying to build their young players and win a championship. Like that's
Right.
hard. And then they just did it.
right. Like, if any team can do it, it's Golden State. Like,
Yeah, legit.
okay. There goes our conference rankings.
That's
Our
a team I want to watch most still.
Warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just greatness, man.
Beautiful basketball.
Beautiful
Like,
basketball. Steph Curry, man. Once he retires, it's gonna be such a sad. It's gonna
Yeah.
be so sad.
Him, Kevin Durant, LeBron, those guys when they retire, it's gonna be like a huge monumental moment.
It will be.
It's gonna be like the new era.
Right. Yeah, we're pretty much in the new era, I would say. It's
Yeah.
just those guys. Like,
They're on their way out.
yeah.
Yeah, this is like
The
like
last
old,
couple years.
right. This is like old Celtics winning the championships. probably,
Right.
You know.
We're in the last couple of years of this era. Or
Yeah.
like the 2010s, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe, those guys era.
It's gonna be the Giannis era soon.
Pretty much. Giannis, Luca, Cade.
Giannis, Luca.
But the league is
Cade.
in a good spot as far as young talent goes.
I agree.
Great spot. Okay. You guys want to go
Let's
to
go.
the NFL?
NFL.
NFL.
I got the games already up, so
Man,
Nice.
Derek Carr suck. I'm kidding.
He do suck.
all right. So Steelers played on Thursday against the Browns. They lost, but you guys saw that catch. I hope everyone saw that catch. That catch was insane.
Wait, what catch?
The George Pickens
George
catch?
Pickens,
I didn't see that.
NFL young boy.
You've not seen that catch? That catch is
You
insane.
didn't see it?
Like
like,
this
bro's
was
running,
this was
right?
Thursday's game.
Yeah, it was one-handed, like on the sideline. Like,
I was doing homework.
oh yeah, you got to see that catch. I got to show you
Missed out.
I got to show you the Kendrick Perkins,
You need to
Moses
find it.
Moody thing, and then I got to show you what else was it?
George Pickens.
George Pickens catching. There was one other thing that was basketball related that I can't remember.
Wait, you already said the Moses
Oh,
Moody thing, right?
Put back. Danny Green.
Oh, the Danny
Udoka,
Green
yeah, that's
putback.
right. Yeah.
We gotta find that. Okay, so first game on the schedule tomorrow: Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. Both teams have looked great, in my opinion. I think they're both
Give me
2
the
and 0.
Bills. Oh wait. Hold on. Let me check.
Check what standings?
Bills injury report.
Oh,
Who got what?
I'm taking the
Gabriel.
Dolphins.
My fantasy team is
Really?
just dying, man.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
what makes you switch?
Bills, their pretty much whole defense is injured.
Really? Like Von
Yeah.
Miller,
Let me pull up.
Von Miller's injured.
Bro.
Jordan
No,
Poyer.
it's not Von Miller. There's a few people who are out or listed as out for tomorrow. Let me find it. Okay. Micah Hyde, neck. Jordan Phillips, hamstring. Dane Jackson, neck. But I saw like another thing out earlier. It was like
There were more
Trey,
players.
not Trayvon Diggs. What's his name?
Tre'Davious.
Tre'Davious White. He was also out. Gabe Davis questionable. Dawson Knox questionable. Mitch Morse questionable.
I'll check the Dolphins.
There's
What's it called? IR or injury report.
Mm.
No, Miami's good. No one. I mean,
yeah,
Teron
Miami's
Armstead
good.
is questionable, and Xavier Howard is questionable. But I feel like everyone ends up questionable after a game. For Buffalo, Ed Oliver is out. Jordan Phillips is out.
Oh, Jordan Poyer, Jordan Phillips, Ed
questionable.
Oliver, Mitch Morse, Matt Milano. Like, there's a lot of people who are out, unpredictable, questionable.
And Stephon Diggs is
He just sat out for practice. He's
okay.
fine.
I was like, what's that
Okay.
about?
I think vet rest is like a rest day for veterans. Yeah,
Mm.
obviously.
Damn, that's a lot of people out, man.
Yeah,
I guess I'll change my pick, same as you, Ethan.
Xavier
that
Howard's
is
questionable though for the Dolphins.
the
He is
thing
their
is.
corner one.
I think I'm gonna still
But,
go
like-
Buffalo. Well, it's hard because it's like if they don't have all their defensive players, how are they gonna guard Tyreek Hill? Like they can't.
How are they going to guard Tyreek Hill?
And
then how are
Jalen
they going to
Waddle,
guard Jalen Waddle?
Right.
And then how are they going to guard
Mike Gesicki.
Mike
Like,
Gesicki?
yeah, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Like, let's get that out of the way because
Yeah.
I also don't think the Dolphins can stop the Bills. Like,
Mhm.
they don't have that many offensive players missing. Diggs is probably gonna play.
Mhm.
Gabriel Davis seems like the only one who's probably not gonna play. But besides that, like, I don't think the Dolphins can hold because they just let Baltimore go crazy on them, and Baltimore doesn't have receivers like that.
Are we seeing that game tomorrow? No.
No, we would.
We're
Get
going to see
there
the later
after.
half of it. We're
Are
going to see
we-
the second
Yeah.
half.
Probably
What
the
time?
second
What,
half.
what time are we trying to show up?
11, right?
11.
Show up.
That's
at
when
11.
it opens.
Okay.
You guys are showing up at 11. I'm showing up at like 10, 10:30.
Okay.
So
Okay,
like,
so
be there at
calling-
11.
I'm calling
Yeah, be there to 11.
Okay,
pass breakup or be there like before 11. Just
Okay.
just to be
because.
safe.
All right. All right.
Yeah, just to be safe. Yeah.
I'll
But,
get
like,
there
I'm
at
calling
9.
I'm calling a not interception, but at least for you guys to keep an eye out for Javon Holland. He's a second-year player on the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
safety. He is
Gonna
number.
get one.
Hold on, let me find bro's number. Bro's number 8. He's nasty with it. Just trust me.
Sean Holland.
He's most likely not going to get a pick off.
It's like very. It's a very
Off Josh
unreal.
Allen.
Like, just getting a pick in itself for a specific player is rare. Like,
Yeah,
it's a very rare occurrence. Even the best.
I'm just
corners don't get that
saying
many picks.
to watch out for him.
Yeah, no,
because
I definitely get you. for
he's
sure.
good.
Second game of, or at least listed on the schedule, is Bengals Jets.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Think we all have the same answer.
Mm.
I
Bengals.
don't think it's even though the Bengals haven't
Yeah.
looked great.
Right. I think it's
I
time.
don't
I think
think
it's
they're the
it's probably
Jets.
about time to just
Right.
Mhm.
get their win, right?
If they lose to the Jets, then we need to start having a conversation about the Bengals.
Yeah.
Legit.
Because they've lost to two solid enough teams. Like the Steelers, even though they don't have an amazing quarterback, are still a really solid team. And
Mm.
the Cowboys still are a really solid team, even though they don't have their quarterback.
Okay, so I can see why they lost to the Steelers because they have 3 freaks at receiver:
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and Chase Claypool. They use them almost as 3
And
slots,
Pat
but they're
Fryermuth
actually 3 freaks.
and Najee Harris. Like they have a good offense.
It's just they don't have their
And the
offense figured
defense is
out, which is
great.
why they aren't
And the
being as
defense, they
productive.
played
Mhm.
TJ Watt for most of the game. TJ Watt got hurt during that game, but it was a pectoral thing, and now he's out for some weeks. But yeah,
Yeah.
they have to win this game. This is a must win.
For sure.
Raiders Titans. This game is close. Maybe you guys could get
Raiders
some
bounce
insight.
back.
You
Yep.
think so?
Mm-hmm.
I got a Raider bounce back.
Are
I
both
don't know.
teams 0-2?
Raiders are on 2. Titans.
Raiders are.
I'll check
Titans
those
are
out.
0-2 as well. Yeah.
Okay, so both of these teams are
Okay.
looking for a bounce back.
Mhm.
Let's see. Titans have allowed 62 points in all of their games. You
That's
guys have allowed 53.
damn.
Yeah, the Titans have played like the second worst defense or third worst defense as far as points allowed in the whole
Mhm.
AFC. You guys haven't been amazing, but you guys aren't that bad. You guys also have been scoring decently, so
I think Nate Hobbs is also going to do good locking up Robert Woods.
yeah,
Hopefully.
their receiving core is pretty mid, like
Yeah.
extremely mid.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It just comes down to stopping Derrick Henry, or if Derrick Henry even produces in the first place.
Right. I think you guys could struggle with that because I don't think you guys' defense
I don't
is
trust the
very good
linebacker. Yeah.
in
Mhm.
general. I mean, I think you guys' front four is really good, but like
The
front
front.
seven is pushing it because you guys'
Yeah.
linebacker core isn't that great. I do want to check the injury lists for both teams because we could be NFL injuries are so weird because it's like you don't even know about them. Like
Like they don't put it out as much as
the
the
NBA does.
NBA would.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's just they're so
Right.
common and
It's in
there's so many
reps.
teams. Let's see. I'm on ESPN just trying to look at
Trevon Morig
everything.
is questionable. Wait, Hunter Renfro and Denzel Perryman are out.
Oh damn.
Hunter
That's
Renfro's
tough.
out with what?
Josh Jacobs is out too. Hunter Renfro is out for concussion. Perryman's out for an ankle. Jacobs out for illness.
Illness.
Taylor Lewan is out for the Titans. Bud Dupree is out for the Titans. Kyle Phillips is doubtful. Zach Cunningham is questionable.
Kyle Phillips out of USC or UCLA.
Kyle Phillips, the white
He was
guy.
out of UCLA. Yeah.
Oh,
the
okay.
Wide receiver.
Is he from San Diego or something?
San Marcos. Yeah.
Ah, dope.
Mhm.
What's it called? Yeah. So both of you guys are dealing with injuries. You guys are dealing with way worse injuries though. So I think I'm gonna go Tennessee just because I don't like those injuries. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Even though I
'cause
think you
who's
guys are
guarding
the
Tay?
better team, I
Right.
just don't like Josh Jacobs, not having Josh Jacobs, not having Hunter Renfro.
It's not like I'm not trying to say we don't need Josh Jacobs, but we have like 5 running backs.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like you're the Titans and you lost Derrick Henry. I will say that it's not the
Yeah.
biggest injury in the world
Like
because I think Josh Jacobs is a bit overrated.
replaceable. He's replaceable.
So it's a toss up. I think it's a really close game between the Raiders and the Titans.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game, Saints Panthers. I think we go Saints. Like
Saints.
Go Saints.
Panthers aren't very good. I mean, they lost to the Giants, so
Yeah,
they're
but
not very good.
aren't the Giants pretty good?
2-0. We're not very good. We've looked bad in both of our wins, so we're probably losing this week.
I'm gonna go Panthers.
Ooh, upset alert! Upset alert!
Upset alert.
Okay.
Ravens Patriots. This could be interesting.
Let me check. Who did the Patriots play previously?
They played Pittsburgh and lost 17-10. We got to check the injury report though, because Lamar Jackson could be out for all we know. We would not be able to tell you. Ronnie Staley is out. Marcus Peters is questionable. Marlon Humphreys is questionable. Groin, knee, groin for one of their receivers, groin for one of their tight ends, knee for J.K. Dobbins.
Is it the Patriots?
No, that's the Ravens.
That's
Ravens. Oh.
okay. So basically, J.K. Dobbins. You guys know how he's like tore his ACL last year and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tore his ACL, LCL, MCL, and patella tendon. So like, bro's whole knee is like new.
Damn.
So is that it for his career? Like I can't imagine you play anymore.
It's gonna be a slow comeback. He's not gonna play for a couple weeks, at least 4 more.
The Patriots aren't as injured. I'm looking. They only have guys questionable. They have none of them are like huge starter names. It's hard for me to say Patriots because I just haven't been convinced with how they've looked in both of their games. They got smacked by the Dolphins. in week 1. They couldn't stop Tua. And then in week 2, Pittsburgh, they played better defense, but their offense couldn't get it going enough.
I also think I'm taking the Ravens
I
comfortably
am too, I think.
because
Yeah.
the Steelers don't even have their offense figured out.
Right. They're
And
still learning how it is and things like that.
yeah,
But you said
if
this.
the Ravens did not, if the Patriots struggled with that, that's concerning.
Even the Dolphins, they're incorporating new players, a new
Yeah.
kind of offense.
But then if you game plan they already know game planning for Tyreek Hill. It's Belichick.
Right. If I trusted any coach to try and put together a good game plan for Lamar, it's probably Belichick. But still, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to game plan for that.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna go Baltimore. I think it's gonna be a good game, close, but I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Yeah. I'm going Baltimore.
Lions Vikings.
Mm.
Okay, I'll go last actually.
It's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I also
Yeah, I
don't
think it'll be
trust
close for
Kirk
sure.
Cousins that much, but I also don't trust Jared Goff that much. So it's kind of like,
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
I'm gonna go Minnesota just because I believe in their like skill position players a little more. Even though I think the Lions could win this game easily, not easily, but like I could very realistically see the Lions winning this game.
I got Detroit. Upset.
Not a bad take.
Jeff
It does-
Okuda. I think Jeff Okuda he's due for a bounce back this year.
Upsets happen in the NFL like every week, so like I wouldn't be
Okuda is-
surprised by the Lions winning this game.
Okuda's bound for that bounce back.
Yeah,
I think I said this earlier on like some earlier episode on how I high on Okuda. I'm still high on him.
he's had the talent. He just hasn't been healthy. Like that's been the thing. He's not healthy. Eagles, Commanders,
This is Eagles.
Philly,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
fly, Eagles fly. Chiefs, Colts.
Chiefs. Colts have been terrible
The
recently.
Colts haven't been able to
Yeah.
beat like teams that they
Yeah.
should have beat very easily. Like the
Yeah.
Colts had 2 games that I would consider like as close to a guaranteed win as you can get, and they haven't won.
Mhm.
Didn't they tie with Houston?
Yeah, they tied.
And then they got shut out by Jackson. Like, come on now, you're not
Yeah.
gonna beat Houston. It's not happening. Houston, Chicago.
Is it raining?
I don't think so. I would hope not.
If it's raining, I'm taking the Bears.
The game's already going to be too hard to watch. I don't want to watch it in that weather.
Well, let me see this.
It's really a toss-up. I think it comes down to injury report for
It
me.
really
so-
does.
Because neither of these teams are very good. I'll look at the Bears or someone else can check Houston.
I got Texans.
I'll go Bears.
Oh,
Oh no, I was checking the injury report.
Roquan Smith is questionable, but that's about it. Like, I mean, they have Matthew Adams. I don't know who that is. Dane.
Bro, I don't.
The people
don't
who
know
are
who these
questionable
people
and
are.
out aren't that like known to me, but that's
I
because
don't-
the team's not very good.
Right.
Yeah. They have 3 people that are questionable and 3 that are out. I don't know these people.
Are they at like important position? I mean, every position in football is
I mean-
important, but like
It's a tight end questionable, D line
then.
questionable, D tackle questionable. Another tight end and corner that are out, and then a tackle that's out.
Okay, so the tackle doesn't help. I think I'm gonna go.
I might have to go Chicago.
I'll go Houston to be different.
Chicago's it. All right.
I'm gonna go Houston to be different. Who knows?
Actually, no, yeah, I'm sticking. I want Darnell Mooney to go crazy this game.
He
Okay.
better, like,
Yeah.
unless
Yeah,
he gets clamped by Derek Stingley.
Mm.
Okay, Chargers, Jags, Chargers.
Chargers.
That's it.
Hold on.
What are we holding on for?
What are we thinking about?
Like,
Isn't Herbert like injured?
oh no, we do need to
Oh,
check the Chargers
yeah.
injury report.
Because I'm
they're-
gonna go Jaguars if he injured.
we do need to check their injury report because they're dealing with a lot of stuff. Corey
Doesn't
Linsley
someone
is
have concussion?
doubtful. J.C. Jackson is doubtful. Keenan Allen is questionable. Herbert is questionable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jags. Yeah.
Parham Jr., the tight end who's actually decent, is also questionable.
Mm.
The Jags only have Shaquille Griffin questionable.
Yeah, they're gonna be healthy at least. So
Yeah.
if J.C. Jackson being doubtful doesn't help, but he also hasn't been playing in general.
He hasn't played the whole season yet.
So But Herbert's dealing with a rib injury, which is just so. It's hard to do anything with a rib injury. You can't breathe properly,
Right.
let alone throw a football. That's a lot of that's rib movement or
Right. Exactly.
waist movement. So it's like
It ain't like a foot or anything.
right,
Right.
and they're
It's like,
missing an offensive lineman. So the hits could start piling up. I doubt it will. I don't think their whole O line is gonna just collapse because they don't have their center. But I think I'm gonna go Jacksonville, just because that's a lot of injuries and a rib injury. Like if you have Justin Herbert on your fantasy team, I don't know if I would start him this week, just because immediately first week after a rib injury, it can make him look really bad.
yeah.
Not to his fault, but
Bro,
now
all the
we got
Charger
the.
fans that watch this better be like,
You mean the one Charger fan who watches this?
The one Charger fan. Hey, we might
The
have to. Might
singular?
have two actually. Might have two.
Oh
Might have
yeah,
two.
that's true. That's true. Okay, we're on to the two big
Going
games of the day.
Jags.
Rams,
Okay.
Cardinals.
Go
I'm gonna look
Rams.
at
the
Cardinals
Rams.
pass defense isn't good. Although Derek Carr did throw a
What's
pick six.
I'm looking at the
but-
Cardinals. What's it called?
No, Derek Carr
Injury
was
report.
just. Mm.
The only person who's listed as outs for Cardinals is Rondale Moore, and then James Conner is questionable. And then for the Rams, we are looking at injuries to Van Jefferson and Brian Allen.
Yeah, Rams got this.
Oh, Van Jefferson is on IR. He's done. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
I think I'd still go Rams, just in a shootout, because I think it might end up being a shootout.
the Rams. I think the Cardinals don't have the secondary to handle the Rams.
Yeah, and the Cardinals don't have their best receiver. Honestly, their
Yeah.
best player,
He's not coming back till what, week 8,
week
week 9?
7,
Week 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
or it's no week 8 because there's a 7-week suspension. So
Okay.
yeah, I think I'm gonna call Rams. I meant because they just
Rams.
Rams have more firepower.
Yeah.
Over under 2 carries for Cam Akers.
Oh my God, under.
Over.
Actually, I'm going with the over, but under 10 yards.
Under 10 yards.
Cam Akers don't play. Packers Bucks. Obviously, Mike Evans isn't playing this game
hmm
because he got suspended.
I'm going with the Bucks.
Let me look at the injury report if someone can pull up the Packers. I'll pull up Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is missing Akeem Hicks. Chris Godwin is still out. Chris Godwin is out with a hamstring, not the ACL. Fournette is questionable. Brashad Perriman is questionable. Russell Gage is questionable. Julio Jones is questionable. So
Bakhtiari
who's
is
playing receiver?
questionable.
Who's gonna play receiver?
Oh my God,
If Chris Godwin is out, Mike Evans is suspended. Julio was questionable. Russell Gage is questionable. Who's playing receiver?
Wait, Julio is also questionable?
Yes. Knee, hamstring.
No,
knee.
because
That's
Fournette's
a
also
lot.
questionable, bruh.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be Brady and just Brady.
Just Brady, and
who's their tight ends? Cameron Brate or something?
Bro, Brady's about to get that Aaron Rodgers treatment.
He's gonna throw a tablet.
throw a tablet. I don't know
who's
anymore.
Green Bay missing?
They're missing Bakhtiari questionable, Cobb questionable, Sammy Watkins out, Mercedes Lewis questionable, Christian Watson. Everyone's receiving core is just questionable.
Yeah, West receiving
this
core
is
is
like
crazy.
great
Both
quarterbacks
teams'
and no
receiving cores are just
I'm going Tampa Bay just because their defense is much better.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tampa just because of their defense.
Their defense is
Green Bay doesn't even use Jair to his full potential.
right
Because Jair wants to guard their one receiver. They paid him in the offseason
as
they
a top
used
corner,
him
like a number 1
as an
corner.
option. Like they use him as like a filler character.
Right.
Or like
You say Fournette's also injured, right? Or also
he's
questionable?
Yeah.
I'll go Green Bay. I'll go Green Bay.
Oh,
Okay.
I think Rodgers can elevate a bad receiving core. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just think Tampa's
but I
defense
also think
is too good.
I also
do that
think Brady
again.
can do the same thing.
Both, yeah,
Right,
they both do the same thing.
But
Yeah.
Brady has the better defense. That's the thing. So it's
Yeah, that's why I'm taking Brady over Rodgers for this one.
essentially. This is probably the last time they play each other in the regular season. I
Mhm.
think this is Tom's last year, especially with what's going on with his wife. Have y'all been hearing about
what?
that?
No.
Who's
He
wife?
doesn't live with his wife anymore. He apparently came out of retirement without telling her.
Oh,
She wants him to start being at home, right? She wants him to like, come on, like it's time
crazy.
to move on
Hang the
in your life,
cleats.
right?
Yeah.
Be home with your kids. His kids are getting older, and it's been an issue at home, and it's been very public.
Man, no one cares about those kids. Play football.
He was at home with his kids for a month, and he was like, "I'm sick of this. I want to get back on the field."
I
No,
understand,
because
man. I
that
understand.
makes sense why he was like he took a 14-day break then.
Yeah, to be with the family, like
Yeah.
before he was not with the family anymore.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Falcons, Seahawks, the Tank
Seahawks, Drake
Bowl.
London breakout game.
I mean, shoot, maybe. There's no
Mm,
one on the Seahawks who can guard. Oh, I mean, Michael Jackson might guard him.
Michael Jackson.
No, you're talking about Kobe Bryant.
They have both. They have Kobe Bryant and
Both.
Michael Jackson.
Hold on, I'm
Oh
looking
my
at
God.
man, but Falcons are terrible.
Both teams are terrible. Is Kyle Pitts going to score a touchdown on U.S. territory ever? Like, it's never
On
going to happen.
US?
No, he's gonna open up passes for their third
Their
receiver.
third receiver. Hey, Kyle, I know we drafted you at 4, but go get Donovan Jones open for us real quick.
Ooh, it's
Our
at Seattle. It's in
7th-string
Seattle,
receiver.
the
Seattle always
So?
packs out a crowd.
yeah. Yeah, I'll just go Seattle.
I think I'm gonna go Seattle too, just because like I don't know. I don't know who's guard. I mean, they can guard DK because they have AJ Terrell, but I don't think AJ Terrell can stop DK Metcalf. I don't think anyone can stop DK Metcalf.
I'm going with the Falcons because they have Margota.
It's close. It's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good game, even though it's bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the night game, the Sunday night game, tomorrow, 5:20 p.m. 49ers, Denver Broncos.
Niners.
Yeah.
I gotta look at the injury report again because
Which one are you looking at?
I'll go Niners. Someone else pull up Broncos.
Oh, Jerry Judy's back to practice. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Rick Armstead is questionable.
Oh my
And then
God.
some
Jerry Judy's questionable.
Yeah.
Sertan questionable.
Oh my God. It's a lot of questionable.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
It's a lot of people.
for
Yeah.
for Denver.
For the Broncos.
Let me check. Y'all are checking ESPN, right?
No, the NFL.
No.
The NFL app.
Oh
Or not app, website.
wow, that's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Judy Hamler, Tyree Cleveland, Dramont Jones, Josie Jewell, Pat Surtain, Darius Phillips, and Quinn Minor or
Yeah,
Mayan.
I'm gonna just go Bronco or
San Fran.
Niners.
I might
I'll
have
go
to
San
go
Fran.
Niners.
Just
Yeah,
because there's
I
so
know,
many
I stick with the
injuries.
Niners. Yeah.
And last game, America's game of the week. Danny Dimes at home. Whiteouts. The crowd is whiting out the crowd against Cooper Rush. This is an elite quarterback matchup. This is a once in a generation quarterback matchup. Daniel Jones versus Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Who y'all got?
I'm gonna go.
I have the Giants.
I have the Cowboys.
I'll go Giants too.
Unless like I just don't like our offense. Our offense is so just like just our
It
offense
doesn't
is not
matter.
good.
Just give Kadarius Toney the ball. And you're
Kadarius
fine.
Toney is doubtful every week. He's doubtful this week.
He still
played last
plays,
week.
so it doesn't
He
matter.
played 4 snaps.
It doesn't matter.
He doesn't play. Kadarius Toney is never healthy. And then like
Get him the ball.
and we're
I
going
don't care.
against Trayvon Diggs. Like I feel like Trayvon Diggs could really take advantage of Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have to go Cowboys just because they have
And our injury report is not good.
guys.
Questionable Thibodeau still. Ojolari is questionable. Leonard Williams is doubtful. Our second string corner, Aaron Robertson, is out. Our replacement second string corner is out. Kadarius Toney is doubtful. Wandale Robinson is out. And another one of our corners is out. So, I mean, like, if we win, I'd be extremely impressed. For Dallas, Michael Gallup and Micah Parsons and Dalton Schultz are all questionable.
Yeah.
J-Ron Curse is out, but like my big question is with the offense. Like if Michael Parsons is out, that's huge for us. But
If Micah, yeah,
if Michael Parsons is
it
out,
depends who's blocking Micah.
I don't think either of our tackles can block Micah. I think Andrew Thomas is solid, but I still don't think he can block Micah because Micah was bodying like
think-
elite linemen, and Andrew
Yeah.
Thomas isn't elite.
And Evan Neal's just gonna be too slow.
Right. It comes down to Michael Parsons for me. If he plays, I mean, either way, I think I
Mhm.
pick Dallas. But if he doesn't play, I see a upset is a little more likely.
I'm picking the Giants with Daniel Jones throwing an interception, with Saquon getting a rushing touchdown as well.
That's a very
Ooh.
Very
specific
specific.
prediction.
But yes,
Yeah, it's very specific.
I think I'm gonna go Dallas just because I don't really trust my team still.
I'll just do upset.
I'm high on the Giants.
I'm low on the Giants.
Why? They're literally
The
okay.
Giants, like
Yeah, but they're literally 2-0, right?
Yeah, but they're not good. Like if you
Well, are the
watch the
Cowboys
game,
2-0? No.
true. But if you watch the games, we haven't looked good in either of them.
Mm-hmm.
We've done
They're
just
sloppy
enough to
wins,
win.
but like
Wins add
Yeah.
up. Eventually, we'll hopefully like actually get a good looking win. But like, I don't think this is the one. Like, at all.
Oh, might be. You got an injured quarterback, and
injured
Yeah.
Dak.
injured
Yeah.
Dak.
Maybe it's close. Maybe we don't get blown out. Like, I don't think we're gonna get blown out.
So
I think
maybe
it'll be
maybe it's a
close.
close game.
Yeah, but I still
Be
think
fine.
Dallas is gonna get it done.
If everyone hits their gaps, Saquon could be running like a crazy man.
Yeah, they don't have the greatest run defense in Dallas, so I just don't like Trayvon Diggs against Daniel Jones. Like, I just think it's
Yeah,
a
'cause I'm sure
couple
he can easily
interceptions.
get baited by Trayvon.
Right. Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
Do you guys think Daniel Jones is gonna fumble tomorrow or
probably,
Monday?
probably. It's a weekly occurrence.
Weekly occurrence.
Well,
Everyone
time
be
is it?
fumbling these days.
3:15.
How
Well,
long
that's our
how-
predictions.
How long have we been recording for?
We've been in the Zoom for 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40 minutes. So, and then I think for like
We've
20
been recording
minutes
for like 20 minutes.
where we weren't like,
Yeah. Okay.
so probably a
Gotcha.
couple hours and a half about.
All
But
right.
I think here's a good time to wrap it up.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else did you want to talk about?
Oh,
Frank?
Nah, nothing.
I'm gonna say like the schedule, I guess. So like basically, there's gonna be no schedule.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to availability for all of us. We should all
Mhm.
establish that now.
Yeah.
Sometimes our schedules just don't work out. Some
Align.
weekend, sometimes it actually does. Like now, there's actually a little window where we can record.
Right.
And yeah,
And honestly, I don't know about next weekend is pushing it. I can't do it next weekend.
See-
Homecoming. Like,
oh yeah, you're not doing it, bro.
yeah.
So
I was
not-
gonna.
Hmm.
I was
Wait,
gonna
next
say
weekend, meaning this weekend, or like this weekend? Next
next
weekend?
Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay, well I'll be in Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
Oh, yeah.
expect the episode next weekend. Like,
Yeah.
not happening. But that concludes whatever episode we're on the Poverty Franchise Podcast. We'll be back in 6 months, talking about something about how LeBron got traded to the Detroit Pistons for Kelly Olynyk and 7 first-round picks or something. I don't know. But thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back eventually.